You fought a dude?
Yes. A weird undead dead dude.
Undead dead, yeah, something like that.
Yes, we fought him. We defeated him because we was connected to those orbs, and we figured figured out to destroy the orbs. Everyone hit the orbs except for Zeltic, who ignored it, pretended that he didn't hear me, and just kept doing his own thing. And we blew it up, and then we defused the guy, and then the other dude just showed up, like just breaking through a wall, like, hey, sure, we're just gonna bust through the wall and pop on in here and say hello to everybody just because Bisendi and what's the other guy's name?
Fade. It's a new
Fade.
guy you guys met.
Yes.
Fade.
I wanted to be American, just call him Fair, but yeah, Fade.
Right.
Fair.
That's how it's spelled.
That definitely happened. All of those things happened.
Also got left out because I'm slow.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yes!
that's right. I forgot about that.
Celtic didn't enter the portal. He's the walk. He missed the Uber.
The walk of shame.
See if he survives
man.
it.
I forgot about that. That's so funny.
I was
It's a
wondering why you
good thing we get rid of the pests, I guess.
Oh man, I'm getting I'm getting a lot of like crackling coming from you, Cat. I don't know why. What's up?
That's weird.
Yeah,
No, I think it's
probably not much.
I think it's my ear. I'm wearing these headphones, and they don't like these earrings. They're going.
That's
Earrings.
typical.
That doesn't seem.
That's typical VoIP stuff usually. If you
They're
get
very-
lost with the internet and everything.
They are skeleton earrings with joints to move, so that's why they're
Oh.
Skeleton. Yeah, I don't understand how that would affect the.
Every single joint in the skeleton moves, and when I move, it makes a lot of noise.
No. That's not what it is. This is a digital crackling that I'm hearing. Is no one else hearing this digital crackling?
Yeah, I hear it.
A little bit, yeah.
Like,
Okay.
It's like I said, it sounds like a
Yeah.
VoIP type of thing. Usually when you're having jitter on your internet and the VoIP kind of crackles and stuff. But it could be.
Maybe there's a lot.
It could be.
I don't know
but
if
it could
there's
be
anything
hardware.
that she could do about it.
It
Maybe
could just be the headset.
try leaving and coming back in.
I don't
Well,
hear
wasn't
it
happening at
unless
first.
it's for me.
You don't. No,
That's
it
just when-
happens
it's just when-
specifically when Cat is talking. Do you
Yeah.
not hear Cat talking?
Her voice is crackly.
Oh, her. Okay. I didn't quite hear it then. But I'm also. I don't know. Carry on then. Don't mind me.
So I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. That. Yeah. Yeah. Just leave and come back in. I guess. See if that fixes it.
And we're at a bar. We're supposed to be getting some kind of monies for our works.
Talk to me, Cat.
Hi.
Yes.
No?
Much
All
better.
right, so I
Much
just need
better.
to reload it.
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful. I appreciate it.
I think I will turn her up though in VDO because she's kind of low.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Uh-oh. I might fuck it up.
I mean, do you hear her loud enough? Because for me, she's really low.
No, she's quiet, but I don't know if
Okay.
VDO's gonna like it.
Well, I'll try. I got her up to 120. We'll see. Say something, Cat.
Talk to me, Cat.
You want me to talk about last time?
That's a little bit.
Absolutely. Anything stick out to you? Anything
All
that
that
feels
my clicker is suspicious as shit and doesn't trust anybody anymore.
who doesn't
Probably
trust
wise.
anybody anymore? What do you mean? Who
Anybody.
does
Not really, no.
What did Ing do to her? Nothing.
She doesn't even know at this point. She's distrustful of everything. She's
What's
paranoid.
she so suspicious of? What is she paranoid of? Why are you always so scared to say it? You know what I'm saying? Say what's real. Speak it into existence. Let's see if, you know.
As she said last time, she believes the Cindy is a liar.
What? Based on what? Has there been an insight check that I haven't seen yet?
Well, when she was first discovering the pests and they were there longer than he said that they have been there, immediate
That's
distrust.
true.
And then he comes in and knows where we were and the location of this lab. Weird. She doesn't know
Sus.
why.
Yeah.
She's weirded out.
That is weird.
Whack.
And the elf
That
guy
is
looks
weird.
very much like the other elf guy, so
Definitely the same kind of elf, and you would know that. So that is definitely
Yeah.
like there's some flags. There's some flags on the play.
Oh,
listen,
question for
she
DM.
was just a chill person, and now she's thrown into all of this.
Please.
We took a short rest last time that we didn't end up taking, and I used hit die, and then we got our hit points
Whatever,
back anyway.
Don't worry about it.
Do I get my hit die back?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Everything will work out beautifully. Where's this goddamn motherfucking all right, let's see. Twitch. Broadcaster has indicated this channel is intended for mature audiences. I don't care about that. Where's the YouTube link? Oh, jeez. That's not it. That says Horde of the Dragon Queen. But that looks like my face.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. I didn't change the title on Twitch.
Lazy.
I forget that sometimes.
The
Lazy.
YouTube link didn't post in the thing, so I don't know where. Boom. All
Oh,
right.
yeah. I can put. Yeah. I'll put that. I'll put it in the Discord.
All right, so yeah, let me stop wasting time. Anybody else remember anything pertinent happening that feels important to them? Cat, if you remember anything else, please share. Anybody, go ahead, speak up. Everybody, all at once. I haven't heard from Shadow, Ito, or Austin yet. I don't think.
I think the only thing specifically is that Ito had a bit of a conversation with Basendi, and got a little bit. I don't know if he would have necessarily got much more insight into this whole thing, or how much that he would really care about it. He's kind of just wanting to get the hell out of this place, and so was very okay to just follow Basendi out. I think he's probably a little frustrated that he wasn't able to get answers from the individual they encountered, but that was some of his own decision as well. So,
Things, things happened. You know, things happened and caused things to happen.
indeed. So, yeah, I think that's most of it.
Beautiful. Everybody get a D4. Remember, they do stack. You can burn them all at once if you want to. All kinds of things. So keep track of them. Honor system, whatever. If I get suspicious, I'll just say that it didn't work this time. You'll be mad at me, but you'll get over it. So I'm not a good person. I'm very clear about that. So
He's gonna kill us all.
everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. Absolutely not. Well, maybe one by one. Everybody gets a
Claire-
D4. Claire, yeah, for real though. Last time, you all were in the belly of the beast, if you will, down traveling, given a job by Basendi to clear out some pests in what used to be an underground temple. Was supposed to be long abandoned, overrun with these magical pests that you did come across. Seemed like it was a true thing, although Claire had some suspicions after making some medicine checks on what appeared to be some bodies that had fallen down there that were clearly not dead for as long as Basendi said nobody should have been there. There's some numbers thing that are not lining up. The math ain't mathing, if you will. And while you were down there, you discovered that there were some precautions put in place. What appeared to be some kind of a massive chest puzzle that was suffused with propaganda about the various schools of magic. Very strong opinions, and you found a laboratory or a lair of some kind that appears to have become automated to an extent, and these arcane devices glowing with this necromantic green energy, as well as energy from various planes of existence, were pumping out these strange magically averse creatures. While you were down there in the lair, you discovered that it was inhabited by the remnants of some kind of mage or just arcane adept who apparently was attempting to do something. He did say also that it must have worked in response to the fact that he was dead, yet still existing, able to manipulate the material realm. Appeared to be stuck in a loop, churning out these creatures, waiting to meet with some individual by the name of Vance, or someone else connected to Vance. Clearly Vance and this wraith, this necromantic wraith, had a contentious relationship because he was not happy when he realized that you all could have been sent here by Vance. It seemed to be willing to negotiate up until Zaltik destroyed. Was it Zaltik? No, it wasn't Zaltik who cast the last blow. It was Ing or Ito, one of you E motherfuckers, who shot past him, blew up the device that seemed to be keeping him somewhat tethered to the material realm, somewhat conscious of his own cognizance, somewhat conscious of his own history and existence. But once that machine was destroyed, he just became a raging monster of death. It was a gruesome battle. You all stuck it out, performed valiantly, was able to dispatch the foe, and when he was destroyed, all of the creatures and the devices that seemed to be all around the room also died as well. And then you, tired, badly beaten, trying to take a well-deserved and well-earned rest, started to hear what sounded like scurrying, pointed out by Claire, that quickly turned into a booming, rumbling, and hesitant to leave, hesitant to move forward, the wall exploded out, revealing the individual who gave you the job in the first place, Basindi, and a newcomer, somebody traveling with him by the name of Fade. Appears to be an incredibly powerful mage, appears to be the individual whom you all were clearing the temple for, who Basindi claimed would be able to raise your dead friend Kestis back to life. Basindi and Fade had a little tete-a-tete. Basindi grew impatient, slammed his staff into the ground, created a teleportation circle. Everybody ran in as fast as they could, except Zaltik, who was left in the necromancer's lair. And I think that's where we'll start. We will start with Zaltik in the lair by himself. Was unable to make it to the portal. Zaltik, no one around you. What would you like to do?
I'd like to make my way towards the exit, but while I'm doing this, I think that this could be a good opportunity to go off and potentially do my own thing before joining with the others. Possible.
Interesting, very interesting. So you do have in front of you what looks like two exits. The one that you all came in originally, and then the other that was blown through the wall by Basindi and Fade's arrival. Which exit would you want to use?
I will use the second one, the one that they
The
made.
new one?
The new one, yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, you can get over there. Nothing's happening in the rooms. You can see as you're surrounded by all of these corpses and dead bodies and blood stains and dried, decayed blood, the smell of death and decay filling your nostrils. You're able to climb up the ladder on the far side and climb right into the hole, the pretty large hole. You just had to duck a little bit to get in there. And you just see this kind of freshly, magically carved tunnel that you are kind of walking through. unsure of where it goes. What's going through your head right now as you're walking through this kind of tunnel?
I just think that's just very weird how they could just perfectly drill this tunnel, essentially. With not my sort of magic thing I deal with. Not being very magical myself, other than having some sort of psychic powers. But that's a different kind of magic, if you will.
Excuse me. Absolutely. You make it. You're walking through here. A few minutes past 7, maybe 10 minutes, and you make it to a familiar room. But last time you saw it, the stairway, or what was a stairway that you are walking up, was blocked by massive rocks. It seems that they used whatever magic they were using to tunnel through and move those massive rocks out of the way to make it down to where you were. In the lair of the Wraith. So you know how to get out of this room. Pretty much straight shot. Give me a history check.
History check, all right.
Wow.
Oh shit!
Beautiful
Damn.
stuff. You do remember
Don't
distinctly.
worry, just one good roll the game.
That there was. You do remember distinctly. That there was a trap in the only hallway out. You remember exactly where it was. You do remember the kind of parameters around it, how it was switched off, yeah, you can see it. What would you like to do? You want to try and jump over it just in case? You want to walk through? Do you trust that it's still inactive, deactivated?
So remember, there's a trap.
In fact, when in natural 20, you remember that it definitely started working again after you guys got into the room.
Well, yeah. Remembering there's a trap, I'd probably just I'll do some sort of acrobatics or.
Want to try and jump over it?
Yeah, just jumping over it.
Yeah, it's a good little 10 feet of space. It's not that much. Give me an acrobatics check. Let's see if you can make it over there easily enough. Okay, yeah, 17. You get up there, you run toward it. Tell me how you avoid this trap. It's a nice little hallway here, kind of single file hallway. You can't really get too many bodies on there. So tell me how you avoid this trap. This floor trap where the electricity shoots out of the floor if you step on the pressure plate.
So I'd be doing a fancy little jump by jumping, kind of using the wall and then kind of bouncing off of that. Kind of
wall bounce,
jumping.
Parkour.
Full Kingdom Hearts style. I love
Yes.
it. You see the insect remembering, just as he's stepping into the archway, remembering that, nope, steps back, takes a few steps back, gets a good run, jumps onto one wall, boom, springing his insectoid body in a way that only an insect can, slams into the other wall, jumps, makes it across, rolls, and then stands up in his gymnastic stance. You see ghosts of individuals who were there holding up little cards, 10, 10, one of them gave you a 9.5. He's a hater. You see a couple of corpses of the dead rats and things that you guys killed earlier. But you can see the way out ahead of you.
Awesome, yeah, I'll just make my way out.
All right, yeah, you're crawling out, and you back into a different cavern that you had used to get down here. Originally, pretty much straight shot. You remember it being very safe. As a matter of fact, this was about where Holgun kind of left you because he had things to take care of. And you're walking your way out, and you know that this is going to spill out into the Anvil district, the kind of working class district of the Dwarven Citadel, built out of the cliff face of the underside of the massive rock that looks like it was just yanked out of a planet or something here as it comes to a point at the bottom. And as you're remembering this, you're kind of seeing the light come down from a cave entrance. You can see the molding, the kind of fungus that grows along the wall that provides a little bit of this botany luminescent, I don't know, light that is coming off of the plant, as well as providing the air that you're breathing. Yeah. You're coming out. You're out into the Anvil district. You've made it out, and what do you want to do?
So, I would want to go. Well, I just Zaltek's thought process right now is perhaps a big local meetup place could potentially be some sort of tavern. Maybe see like what sort of like see what he could do there. But along the way, he wants to do a little bit of thieving if he sees any opportunities.
Okay, absolutely. So as you're coming out into the Anvil district, you can see there's lots. It's about middle of the day, a little bit before noon, maybe a couple hours, maybe 10, 11 a.m. And you can see people are kind of running around. You can see some people who clearly have been working for the first few hours of the day, and they appear to be going towards somewhere where they cannot be working for a little while before they return to it. You can kind of recognize that intent in their face, and it's a good amount of a good thrum of people kind of walking back and forth. Very easy for you to disappear in the crowd, as the Dwarven Citadel is incredibly multicultural. You see dragonborns, elves, halflings. You see every once in a while you see like an insectoid creature. Nothing that looks quite like a three-creen to you, but some other kind of insectoid creatures. And yeah, I mean, you see some fairly like upper middle class looking individuals. They have fairly nice work clothes that they're working in. They appear to be well kept, a nice tackle box that they carry their tools around in and things like that. I don't know if you want to try and pickpocket any of these individuals, but you certainly can do that if you'd like.
Yeah,
you're not
absolutely.
entirely sure where you're going though.
Yeah, so as I'm just kind of like just trying to make my way around the streets and just trying to figure out, I guess, just like where I am, what there is. I would like to pickpocket just somebody.
Sure, good stuff. Yeah, you can see. You just want to pickpocket whoever's closest to you that looks like they're kind of unawares. Huh? Give me a perception check to see, give me a perception check to see if you can see anybody who looks, vulnerable, and then give me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Wow.
So with a 20 perception, you see a lot of people who that first part of the day, it was real hard on them. They're all kind of just head down, walking forward, not paying any attention to their various garments that are kind of flapping in the wind behind them. You see lots of opportunity for taking. You see what appears to be a couple of dwarves who look like they might have even started drinking already. You can hear them talking to each other. Oh, damn. I'll tell you again, if he tells me again, I swear to God, I'm definitely showing up at his wife's back door. That's all I'm saying. Hey, you gotta stop talking like that, man. All right, you're gonna get us both fired. Chill out. And you see, and then you are able to walk in. You see the kind of this heavier side flapping, but kind of banging against his leg. And describe for me how you attempt to pickpocket this individual.
So wait, what was he doing? You said he's like.
He's just like talking and kind of looking at his friend on the other side, and you can see there's a heavier pocket, it seems, on his left side, and he's talking to his friend on his right side. There's groups of people like walking in all directions, back and forth on this it's like like almost like a boardwalk, but it comes out of the side of the cliff, so kind of suspended over nothing.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like get near him, but can I have like my back turned to him? But I know kind of like right beside him. He's like right kind of like
right.
back to the
like
side.
You're just trying to walk past him?
Yeah. And so, and while I'm kind of like doing that, I'm going to take like one of my secondary little arms. While like my main ones are crossed, I'm going to take my secondary arm and just try to reach in there and see what I could grab.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give me a D10. You reach your hand in there. The guy didn't roll very well. Rolled a 3, so you can pretty much have your way with his pockets.
Just a D10. Is that how it works? Like that?
Wow. All right. Good stuff. So with a 6 there, you find a little bit of money. It looks like here, just a couple of silver pieces, maybe 10 or 12 silver pieces. Not much. You do see a note that's, unless you want to take the time to read it, it does look like it was handwritten, kind of torn out of maybe a journal or something. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so I would have
With a
just taken the
6 there.
stuff, and I'm gonna leave, and then I'll read the note.
Absolutely, absolutely. As you are, you take the stuff, you walking away. You still have no idea where you're going. As you're walking away, you just feel this presence next to you, and you hear a voice, a fairly familiar voice says, "Ah, it was a pretty good lift you did there." And you see Hogun has kind of peeped you out, just barely. Kind of peeps you out and was like, "Hey, it was a good job here. Listen, we're going this way. You're definitely going in the wrong direction." Kind of turns you around. Says, "What'd you get? Huh? What'd you get?"
Oh, just not much at all. Just a little bit of silver and some sort of note here. I haven't quite looked at it yet.
Yeah, he probably needs that silver more than you do. But especially with that job you all just took, huh? How'd you do? Is everything all right? How's it going? You guys, who died? I see you by yourself. So did everybody else die except you? That sucks for them.
There's a little bit of a slip up that happened down there, but I mean, I figured I could take the time to just come back on my own and, just see what I could accomplish before I find wherever they may be.
So wait, what do you mean? You saying they left you down there? That's messed up. I know you guys weren't close, but that's messed up, man.
I guess you could say that.
Was it dangerous? Give me a deception check.
Deception, alright.
He says,
And
whatever you say, man. They're your people, like if you guys are kind of a new crew, I guess you got to work out the kinks in y'all's relationship, whatever. That's none of my business, man. Do you know where they went? Do you have any idea?
All I know is they just used some magic teleporter and they were gone.
Magic teleported? They teleported?
Well, yeah, just somebody met
who?
up with us.
Which one of y'all? You guys aren't. Huh?
Somebody came down there that was helped give us the job, and then took him out, and I got left behind.
Wait, the Basindi came down there to meet you guys? In the what?
I know it's crazy. You wouldn't believe what was down there. But maybe we should save that for someplace not as. Or wait, no, that doesn't matter because I'm speaking to his mind. But yeah, you wouldn't believe what was down there. It was some crazy stuff.
Well, I'm going back to the Raven Shadow, I guess. I figured you guys would go there, but if they teleported out, Basindi wouldn't be able to teleport there. Where did he tell you where he went?
I don't have any recollection.
Ah, shit.
But you told me about this Raven Shadow earlier. I'd be interested in coming along with you.
Yeah, King Claudia, man. She's she's the leader of the Raven Shadow, at least on the Citadel. And now I think you would be a good fit. I saw, some of the work you did clearly. I mean, you don't look like you took too much of a beating down there. I don't know what you guys, ran into. You could fill me in, and then, but I think, there might be some work for you.
I don't think you'd believe me if I told you what was down there.
We got time. Tell me. And he's like kind of leading you through the anvil. Do you fill him in or no?
Yeah, so I tell him all the main details. There's a lot of rats
that
down
you want
there.
to leave out?
Anything I'd want to leave out?
You guys found
I
a
would
book.
probably. Right. So I am going to leave out the fact that I got some sort of gem down there. I got like this teal-colored gem from the statue puzzle.
Sure.
I wouldn't say anything special about the statues. But like just the main events of like, there's just, all sorts of rats and some like, couple traps, confusing
you-
puzzle, and
Excuse me.
I can just tell him the basis.
Do you
that,
tell him about Ito's weird like freezing up with the with that stone, and do you tell him about any of that kind of stuff?
Not exactly, no.
Do you tell him that someone showed up with Basindi?
Yes.
Do you describe this individual?
Yes.
All right. As you're kind of describing what Fade looks like, you see Hogun's face get a little more serious than you're used to, and he's kind of like stroking his beard, and he's like, I don't like that. Why are they? See, I don't know about this Fade guy. He's been around for a while, but the king, man, the Dwarven, the king of the mountain, the king in the mountain, Sul Dil, doesn't. They have a difference of opinion. And Fade, he used to be a member of the Six. He used to be on the council, but he got booted out by the high elf from Timid, the wave breaker. They had some differences of opinion, ideology, and a lot of people haven't really seen or heard much of Fade since. Why he would be interested in some weird necromancers, some dead wraith ghost wizard's lair hidden in a temple deep in the heart of the citadel. That's concerning. I'll keep my eye on him. Be careful of him. Oh, he's the guy that's gonna help. Of course, that makes sense. He would be powerful enough to do that pretty easily. Well, I guess in as much as it gets Kestis back, it's a good thing. But beyond that, I'd be cautious of the guy.
Do you think it'd be good that, do you think that perhaps maybe we just shouldn't bring him back because of him? His capabilities, maybe he just can't be trusted as you're talking about, as you're describing him.
And you see him, he looks very serious as he's seriously considering the idea of not having Kestis revived. And he's like, he's not, I don't know, he's not an evil guy. I don't think he'll turn Kestis into a zombie or something like that, or some kind of, I don't undead thrall, but it seems suspicious. He has such ideological differences with the king about how we should, I don't know, political stuff. I don't really understand it too much. Claudia could probably fill you in better. Or the King Claudia. Don't tell her that I didn't say the king part. It's important that you say the king part. I guess, I don't know. He's definitely powerful enough to do it the right way. I think that for whatever reason that he wants to not only pay so much for that temple, but also maybe do this favor for you all. That makes me incredibly suspicious, because then you kind of owe him, and then who knows what he might come calling to collect on that debt. But I think getting your friend back, that might supersede any suspicions that I might have, at least for the foreseeable future.
Well, I'll take that all in mind.
Listen, I got a job, man. All right, I got something. I don't know if I would suggest that you kind of bring your friends along for it. There's no real rush on it, but there's something going on. You got like a criminal history, right? Like you've engaged in some less than reputable behaviors. Yeah, you don't have a problem with your reputation being sullied.
Yes, I've had my fair share of getting my hands dirty.
Good, man, because we got a serial killer on Lenav. Oh shit, you don't know what that is. It's one of the other moons that's like the Citadel kind of act like a moon. It spins around Timid. That's the big blue planet that you passed by on the way here. We got Lenav is one of the other moons. It's like a mining kind of moon, rich in all kinds of amazing resources. Has a weird connection to the Feywild that causes certain ores and metals and things to only show up there. At least as we've seen in this Wildspace system. But anyway, we got a serial killer now. The problem is he's only killing criminals, so nobody cares. The Raven Shadow is concerned because he killed one of ours, and we don't like when that kind of things happen. So the friends of ours, the friend of mine, I should say, the friends of mine are looking to have this taken care of. Unfortunately, he seems to know a lot about us. We're unable to track him. You're a new guy. He wouldn't know anything about you. The idea is we set up like some kind of a sting, draw him out. You know, you would play the criminal, try to lure him somewhere, ambush, figure out what's going on, why he's doing what he's doing. Also, there's some concerns that he may have some information that we need, and we need that information collected in a very particular kind of way. How willing are you to get your hands dirty?
And what would be my benefit of partaking in this?
Of course, reputation, man. What are you talking about? Listen, the Raven Shadow is one of the most well-renowned roguish institutions in all of the wild spaces. Like, do you know anything about
I will just
Raven
say I'm
Shadow?
not from here. I'm not from around here.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys got a chapter down there on Satil. We kept tabs on you guys. I don't know how much you knew about the facts, but what do you guys? Well, you never crossed paths with them. You're too good not to have.
Yeah, I've done some stuff with them. You know,
And your
in
particular
my
set of
outings, so-
skills are adept at retrieving information the way that we, you know. Well, it's not important. We can talk more about it later. Listen, if you're uncomfortable, whatever, you have any questions, but of course your reputation would be increased with the Raven Shadow. That could be a way in, and of course we would pay you.
I like what I'm hearing.
Beautiful. I'll get more specifics about it and I'll get back to you.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So,
And it's at about this time. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask them. So, you know about the guy that my team, quote unquote team, traveled off with? Any idea where they might ended up being at? You know, where they might have.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, man. Most likely they're at the annex. It's like the section, you know, of the section of like the Citadel between the Anvil and the Promenade. There's a tavern there that this guy Friday particularly loves to go to. I guess he like has an office there or something. I don't know. I don't care that much. The lady who runs it though, real sweet girl. You know, bless her heart. Just trying to make a buck. And most likely, Basindi took you all there, or took them all there. You probably would have made it if you weren't so slow on the draw there.
Good. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm gonna take you there. No, we gotta go because I gotta see this guy and see what he's up to. And you guys are like talking and walking and shit. And anything else that you want to talk about with Hogan?
Not. Oh wait, actually, I will ask him about where I could sort of like take some like valuables to get inspected, like kind of like alluding to my gem that I found, but not outright saying it.
Yeah, so what are you talking about? Like, you talking about like it's old silver, some spell casting materials? Like what kind of jewels, gems? Like what kind of things are you talking about? Because it'd be different.
Just some sort of gem.
Yeah, we could take it to the jeweler.
Yeah, if you could just
The jeweler.
tell me where he
Yeah,
is.
there's a jeweler, Levere. He kind of like a, you know, our connect, a crime syndicate kind of connect guy. He comes through here every once in a while. He's from the Rock of Brawl. He, you know, has his outfit out there, but he comes through here to trade in certain precious metals. Like I said, Lanav, that moon, man, it's very rare ores and gems and things that come off of there. So, yeah, you could probably get something inspected for you. But like, I mean, what do you got? I'm taking. I've seen some things. I might be able to give you a rough idea of what something might be worth. You might have, you know, somebody else who can inspect some jewels or something. We can work something out.
Yeah, sure. I can show you this, especially with how much you've helped me out here, I suppose.
Yeah,
Here.
man. Yeah.
And I just
Listen, if you
take
want
it
to be
out
a
of my
friend of
pouch.
ours, you know, we got to be able to trust each other.
Friend of ours.
Yeah, so I take the gem out of my pouch, and I remember it's a teal-colored gem from the statue.
Yeah, roll a d6 for me.
D6.
Oh, that's a nice one, man. It's pretty big too. This is nice. Yeah, please. It's it's Fugazi. It's Fugazi, man. You probably get 50 silver for it. Now that I got a good look at it. You know what? Let me just take it off your hands for you, man. Oh, Matt, here, I'll give you 50 silver for it right now. Or you can take it to somebody else and see if they'll give you 50 silver for it. I might be able to. Well, hey, you might be able to sell this to some bum. Matter of fact, we take it back down to where you were picking pockets. You might be able to get this off, get a scam off, you know, set up like a little 3-card Monty situation and put this as the reward for winning. You might be able to get, you know, something for it, but I don't know. It's not real.
I don't give to people. I take. So I'll just take whatever little silver you'd want to give me for it if there's any value you think from it. But
Sure. He throws you 50 silver.
awesome.
Kind of looks up at it. He says, nah, I don't know. I might be able to turn it into something, give it to my ma, turn it into something pretty. Kind of tucks it away in his pocket. So anything else? Because you've had enough spotlight.
No, I'm just gonna make my way back to the, make my way
Beautiful.
over.
He's
to,
kind of leading you out through the anvil. You're passing by the like the big oak door in that little like alley kind of strip where you met with Bassendi, where you kind of met King Claudia and Saphira before the Dragonborn there and all the fancy religious armor and shit. And he kind of takes you past there and takes you up back through where you can start to see out into the promenade, and you can see he's walking you toward this door. And right as you're going to go in, flashback. You guys we're back with the rest of the gang who are inside this establishment, hanging out. Oh no, having just arrived for the first time, the very strange sensation of teleportation, different from the last time that you guys did it when you were with the armored knight. Different sensation, feels a little uncomfortable in your stomach. Please, if everybody can give me a Constitution saving throw. As you all are just arriving right now, stepping out of the portal, your feet kind of hitting the ground, wobbling. Some of you are. Everybody seems to be doing okay. Oh shit! Goddamn! All right.
I was expecting that to go poorly.
Claire steps out as though walking from one room to another. No big deal. Ingval and Ito, you feel a little wobbly, but you're good. You're able to maintain your constitution, and you'll see I don't know. He looks a little more woozy, kind of doubled over a bit, leaning on a nearby chair that he's kind of pulled up off of a table. He's not vomiting or anything. Looks a little green, but he's able to maintain his constitution. And you'll see Bassendi there, standing there with his staff in place, didn't have to move an inch, and you'll see Fade there as well, kind of just floating gently above the incredibly well-kept wood flooring of this establishment. You're looking around, you can see all kinds of red banners and these massive barrels of ale, and you see it looks like all of the stools are kind of pushed in, most of the chairs are kind of up, as it is the middle of the day. Place appears to be closed, and Fade kind of looks around and says, I wonder where Linves is at this time. I guess I can fetch her. Bassendi, I believe you all have some business to tend to with these individuals. You should probably take care of that. And I'll see if I can find a place to revive your friend.
Good sir. Bassendi did say you were the one paying us. Would we maybe settling before you wander off would be apropos thing to do.
Oh, well, I'm paying him. He's paying you. Our agreements are what our agreements are. Bissini has been taken care of. I think he knows how we do these things, and I'm going to prepare a room to conduct this ritual to revive your friend. So I believe, darling, maybe I will wander a bit and return to you shortly. And Bissini kind of knocks his, bangs his thing down and says, Fare, I expect payment by the morning. And Fare says, of course, yes. And he says, you all seem to have performed quite impressively. Although it does appear that we've lost one of you. It's unfortunate, but... and he kind of, you see his eyes roll back, turns a little white. Says, oh, he's walking with Holgun. Should be fine then. Comes back into himself and says, he'll probably be here shortly. You see him kind of reach into his robes, pulls out what appears to be a pouch, and he says, so... I will want the pouch back if it isn't too much trouble. I don't know if you have a way to store this, but 1,700 platinum is quite a bit of coin. And he kind of hands you a pouch, or extends a pouch. Who's going to walk up and grab it?
I will. Ing will come up and he will grab it. He's like, oh, well, I have one of my own. He holds up his bag of holding.
Oh.
It can hold quite a bit of...
Perfect.
Oh, I think yours is this. Is that the same? Is it also a bag of holding?
That's a bit smaller. Yes. It's
not
like
how
a
they
coin
work, but that's
purse
okay.
kind of.
So he takes it, yeah.
Sure. And yeah, he hands it to you, and you empty the coin purse out into the bag of holding.
No, I'm gonna split it up. Everyone's got to get their share, obviously. So I will kind of waddle over to the nearest table that seems to be clear of space and sit down there. And it's 10 gold per platinum, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. So we're looking at 17,000 gold.
Lots
all right. So
and lots of gold.
Yes.
But they are platinum pieces, so.
Yes. You can't separate. We'd have to go to a currency exchange.
Ito would kind of gesture over to Basendi and our contract, is it fulfilled? You and I have further business, or?
Oh, my boy. No, you've done valiantly, yes. And I believe Fade will be the individual who can fill you in on any information that you need about the last unhuman war. I don't know what it is that you're looking for exactly. He can tell you what happened with most Warforged. He probably won't be able to fill you in about your history specifically, but there may be some magic that he's willing to do to try and help you find what it is that you're looking for. He can, at the very least, point you in the right direction.
He's gonna kind of look around, just kind of a little dejected and probably reacting similarly to Ohm in terms of Fare's leaving with no real further comment. Would be safe to say I could find him here.
Fade, he'll be back shortly. Yeah, he's trying to find Linves to find a room to do your ritual. Do you all still have the body of your fallen comrade? We'll need it for the ritual.
Ing is stacking, making 5 piles, and he kind of looks over. He's like, "Didn't your friend, or Holgern or something, the king or lady, didn't she take the body? I do remember someone in that meeting. I mean, it's not like we were carrying him around
or
with
did
us.
she
I
look
thought
at it?
Kestis got left with the town of justice.
Oh, did he?
That's what I thought.
He was left with
Good.
someone. I know we didn't take him with us.
Mm-hmm. I thought you guys put him in the bag of holding because he's a dead
No.
body and he'll be fine in there.
We discussed
No,
it and Claire was appalled. I remember that now.
Okay.
Ing would like to take a look at these coins and make sure they're legit. I don't know, give it the bite test, something, just to make sure that,
Give me a history check. Yeah, checking if the silver's silver, or if the platinum's platinum. Forgive me. There is. He says, "Oh, so you left them all with Saphira? I guess she may be able to bring him here." And you'll watch his kind of eyes go wide again. And you see this, and a large dude, wide shoulders. He starts to kind of glow a little bit with this faint bit of magic. And you'll see him kind of mouthing, but you don't hear him saying anything. And then he says, and his eyes kind of come back, and he says, yes, Saphira will bring him here shortly.
Ito's gonna have just gone off to kind of the darkest corner and just kind of gone into Sentry's Rest.
Before you
As
walk
you
away, he's like, "Oh,
step
Ito."
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please.
He just finished counting up your stack, and he kind of slides a stack of 340 platinum over to the edge of the table.
It's some real fast counting. It pushes it across the table towards you, Ito. You see this stack of platinum.
Ito is gonna just look at it. I have my own arrangements, my own things. You have your missions, I have mine. I appreciate your help and support in this, but seems like you all might need this more than I do. And he'll just
Slides
turn
it back over.
You can save it for Tastus.
Yeah. and he's just gonna sit back in
Say
the
it again, Claire.
We can save it for Tastus.
Sounds good to me. How does Ing feel about that? Claire's statement of saving the cut for Kestis.
Yeah, he nodded. He's like, and kind of taps the pile. He's like, yes, my Thunder Brother will definitely need some kind of pocket change, if you will, when he returns to us. But you see him, he seems kind of, he's starting to, even though we're talking to Fare and all this other, he's starting to lose faith that this is actually going to work the way they said it did. It just seems too easy. It's something doesn't seem right.
Absolutely. And you'll see Ohm kind of walking away. Yes, for Kestis. Kind of pulls out a stool, sits at the bar. There's nobody there to serve drinks. There's nothing there for him to drink, but he's sitting in place in a position that you have seen him on multiple occasions. Ing, ready to start drinking in the middle of the day.
Ohm?
Yeah, Ohm is doing that, yep.
Yeah. In the meantime, Ing will, now that the coins are divvied up, take out his bag of holding. You see him pull out a bunch of tomes. He slams them down on the table. He pulls out the gem. You see him pull out the broken crystal that Kestis had given him, and also place it there. And he adjusts his little jeweler's glasses, and he's just going through the book, and he's looking at the items, preparing to create the homunculus that he's been so longing to make.
Sure. Opens the page up to the homunculus crafting section, and starts going to work. Every once in a while, you guys will see a little flash of light coming from where Ing is. The piles of platinum sitting on the table. Ohm sitting at the bar. Basindi kind of just standing, waiting. A few minutes pass, 10, 15 minutes pass. Fade starts floating back in. And you see following behind him appears to be a woman. Looks like kind of an olive-skinned woman, long dark hair. You can see all kinds of jewelry and bejewelment and things. As you're noticing her walking towards you, absolutely beautiful, athletically built. You can see like loose-fitting kind of top and a long dress with a long slit on one side. And up her right arm, you'll see it appears to be a massive reptilian claw where you would expect to see a fairly humanoid hand. Just green scales up this incredibly deadly looking claw all the way up her arm, and you'll see around the edges of her face some green scaling, and on various different like edges of her, on her elbow and on of her fingers around the back of her hands, you'll see a little bit of green scaling, but mostly just that massive reptilian arm that she has. Looks a lot like kind of a green Kestis arm, just like almost like she's part dragonborn in a very weird way. She kind of walks up and says, "All right, you're all here too early. I don't like it. But if you're gonna be here, might as well have a drink. Friday's a friend, and I'm happy to help. If anybody does anything I don't like, I'll kill you. Cool? Whoa, that's a lot of money. Wow. You wanna spend some of it? I got some great drinks here. I'm gonna open up just for you guys." And you hear, here.
Ing does not look up. He just kind of, while he's reading, he's like, "I will take a coffee, no sugar or cream, please." And he just continues doing.
Coming right up. Anybody else? And Friday says, "Lynn, if it isn't too much trouble, I'll have a Feyflower." So of course I know I was gonna do that anyway. And she kind of starts walking behind the bar. You, darling," kind of points out to Claire and says, "Are you all right? You look a little beleaguered. Look like maybe you can have something to take a weight off your shoulders."
No, okay. I just need to wait.
All right. And Friday says, "So, if Lynn says it's fine for us to do the ritual here so long as we clean up afterward, do you all have your friend's remains?" You hear Basendi say, "Well, I've contacted Saphira. She'll be bringing him soon. She says that he may be associated with them, or I don't know, but she felt responsible for him, nevertheless, so she's on her way." And at about that time, you hear what's some knocking at the door. He says, "Well, that's probably her." And Linvest just screams, "It's open!" And you see Saphira walking in, has Kestis' remains kind of slowly floating behind her. He appears to be laid out on something you don't see, laying flat, just kind of floating out gently behind her. And she says, "Yes, I have your friend, and I'm certainly hoping," and she kind of looks at Fade, "I'm certainly hoping that things will go well." Fade says, Of course, Saphira, I'll be careful." She says, "Oh, well, I know you to be particularly skilled, Fade, even if we don't see eye to eye." And he says, "Kind of lay him here." And he kind of floats over to a cleared section of the bar and begins to prepare these runes in this circle. And he says, "You see," and he just starts talking, "the ethereal essence of an individual, some might refer to it as a soul, I'll refer to it as the ethereal, is tethered to the material form, the mortal coil, if you will. And when our ethereal is freed from the material, typically, it cannot become bound again. Well, the ability to manipulate the weave, as I see most of us here understand is possible, can be used to provide binds, within which the ethereal or soul can, should it deign to, leash itself back to the material." And he's like building, he's just writing these runes. You can see as he's forming these runes, this like arcane, this kind of bluish with a tint of white arcane coil or cord just starts to form around each rune and then extends itself to the next as he's drawing the runes and the necessary images for the circle. The circle's almost building itself as he's writing the runes down. And he says, some, like Suldil, and you hear Basendi say Fare, and you hear Saphira kind of like growl a little bit. This guttural, dragonborn growl would place short-sighted, regressive, prejudiced restrictions on the advancement of the arcane, but such is the way of things. And you see all the wisps, kind of this wisping energy starts to connect, and you just feel this this outflow of energy. Some of the kind of banners and things that are hanging around the room shake a little bit, and you notice these tiny little wisps coming off of this circle, these tiny little wisps of this like shadowy green energy, these tiny little shadowy green tendrils just seem to like spread like papillae just off of the edges of this circle. And he says, so this is only possible if the ethereal of the individual wishes to return. To assist with the ritual, you all can exploit your connections with this individual of the name, and he kind of like waits for someone to say it.
Kestis.
He says, yes, points to ink. Kestis. He said, there are few things as mighty as the power of friendship. It will act as a beacon to coax the ethereal back down to the material. He says, please, if you can place Kestis within the center of the circle. And you'll see Saphira start to like kind of you'll see Saphira turn back and the body kind of lowers down to the floor, and she says, I think maybe it should be one of you all who does this. Someone who is close with him, connected with him.
Ian kind of slides his books to the side and he'll stand up and he's like, just straightens his apron a little bit and he's like, I suppose, I did not know him any longer than anyone else here, but I did consider him a thunder brother, if you will, brother from a different mother, as some would say. So I suppose I could. So he kind of stands up, shuffles over, and he goes, "Do you want me to pick him up and put him in here? Is that what you're asking?"
Yes, please, directly in the center of the circle.
So Ing does this. And meanwhile, by the way, especially because it's keen mind, he's looking to memorize the runes in the circle, everything that
Hey, you see him, you can memorize them. You don't really know what they are, how they work, but it doesn't seem
visually.
It seems like a magic that is obviously just too high level, but you can understand the basis of it. There's definitely some necromancy going on here, and yeah, so you can kind of get the gist of what the ritual is. It seems. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
But you can definitely see it, and you can remember the runes, at least for the next month. With a 14, the nature of it seems to be, the nature of it is necromantic. Obviously, it seems to be pretty straightforward. There doesn't seem to be anything that looks like it's out of position. The runes themselves look like they are of a different kind of magic than a similar magic to what you are capable of, but it's slightly different, a little bit more advanced. But with a 14, everything seems to look good, and you definitely will remember what it looks like.
So he picks him up and he's looking down, and hesitantly he gently places the body down in the center as requested.
This is beautiful. Thank you. People often underestimate the power of our intentional mental energies. In fact, that's all our manipulations of the arcane are. We only use the components and the spell-casting foci and the runes as conduits for our own mental manipulations of the weave. But that's neither here nor there. There are all manner of ways to manipulate the intellectual power, as you would any known resource such as spelljamming. It manipulates your intellectual power to propel the ships forward. It's fairly simple. As you would any other resource, you can use your intellectual power if you understand the techniques, which reminds me, and he seems to almost get like sidetracked. Have any of you the location of a moonstone dragon? No? Oh, it's unfortunate. I tell by your blank faces, this doesn't even seem like something that you've ever encountered.
Raises an eyebrow. It's like, are dragons something you run into often, especially
No.
dragon?
No. Yes, to be honest, no. And moonstone dragons are quite rare. They're typically found in the Feywild. I don't go there anymore. Last time I was there, I thought I was gone for a few days. I came back and 5 centuries had passed. It was incredibly inconvenient. They got so far ahead of me. Those.
When he says Feywild,
a little bit,
Ing just he felt like a tightening in his chest, and he just coughs it off and just goes on.
Kind of looks to you a bit. The cough almost like breaking him out of his little his distraction. He says, "All right, well, anyway, yeah. If you think you might come across one, let me know, please. I desperately need their breath weapon." So, anyway, sorry. Well, your friend, he appears to be a beast hunter. Is he? Do you know much of his history?
No, he didn't tell us very much. Did he tell anything in confidence that I may not have heard?
No. He's just a nice person.
Huh. And if he's with Saphira, he probably has some relationship with the dragon, Saphira. He kind of looks towards Saphira, and Saphira says, I don't know much of his experience, but just looking at his form, he seems fairly capable, and I assume that he has taken contracts. Moonstone dragons are quite rare. All the better to revive him, and you can ask him yourself. And Fade almost appeared, almost looked like reprimanded, almost like he had to kind of correct himself. Oh, yes, of course. So, you all will have to make appeals. The more appeals we can make, the better. And it's at about this time that a Hogun just kind of walks in. He's, see, I told you. This is where everybody, whoa, hey, there's too many people in here. What's going on here? And Lynn says, Hogun, all right, enough. You know, it's always an entrance, always a show. Jesus, what do you want? Dwarven ale? You know me best, Lynn. Yeah. Starts pouring stuff out. Gave you all your drinks and things. Put a water in front of Claire. Put a water in front of Ohm. And he's, man, I want a whiskey. He just pours a little shot of whiskey, gives it to him. It's too early. What are you doing? And Hogun is Zaltek walking in behind Hogun, making his appearance. Norm! Everybody screams his name. It's an old reference.
Well, seems like you. Yeah, cheers. I got it. I'm old too. Zaltek. I see you have found your way back. You dawdled a bit there, entering the portal.
Speaking only into Ing's mind, I say, I just took some time getting some business done.
And Ing says out loud, would you stop that? Use your mouth like everyone else, man.
I could use my mouth, but you wouldn't understand it.
Sexy.
Just heavy sigh. Heavy sigh.
Anyway, that coin beside you have my share?
Ah, yes, right here. There's you see that there's three. Ohm, I slid it to Ohm. He immediately took his.
Yeah, he got his.
And I have my share and Kestis's. So there's 2 left over there for Claire and for Zaltek. He's like, yes, one of those piles right there is yours. There's 340 platinum there for you, good sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna go take my coin and then go off to a corner as I try to figure out what's going on here.
You can see as you walk in, you see this kind of magical circle that is glowing faintly. You see these strange little green tendrils. The green, not unlike the green that you saw down in the lair that you just left from, but a little lighter. A little bit lighter. And you can hear Fadi saying, yes, the more wrong voices. Yes, the more the better. The more appeals that we can have made, the more likely this ritual will be a success. I am particularly adept, so this should be fairly simple. But the ethereal Kestis's soul can choose not to return. Ultimately, they still have agency, especially in the higher planes. So I need to get down into that lair. So, and he says, he starts speaking in this language, Celestial. If anybody speaks Celestial, you would recognize it. There you go. He's not so much like sentences that he's speaking in, but it's almost like a hymn, like a song. The gist of it is, return back, return back. Love succeeds. Weird shit like that. And you see the runes start to light up, and you can see the green tendrils starting to kind of get a little more active, and then you start to see Kestis's body like rising into the air, and you can hear the room and the magical energy kind of spinning and swirling. The air in the room is starting to spin. The cups and things are starting to get knocked over, and you can see Kestis's body kind of floating gently above the ground and glowing. Glowing fairly brightly and brighter every moment. And Fade kind of says, now would be the time to make your appeals. Please, in any order, I don't think it matters much. Step up and request that your friend return to you. And this is going to be a skill challenge of sorts. If you can justify a skill to use, hey, pretty much use any skill that you want. And if you want to use a skill and we need some help to justify using that skill, we will try and figure it out. The DC is set at a certain place. Every successful skill, you got to beat a DC of 15. Every successful skill check will lower the revival DC by 1. The revival DC, I have not told you, but the DC to succeed is 15. So, who wants to go first? Who wants to try and attempt to revive Kestis's form as he is laying there, gently suspended in the air, glowing with this? I just spit real hard. Glowing with this radiant celestial energy and this tiny little bit of necromancy around the base of this circle.
Claire will step up first.
Claire, as you step up, you first immediately start to see flashes in your mind of you know who. The last time you saw them, their face translucent, kind of transitioning between solid and translucent, and then the vision, of course, leaves from your mind, and you walk toward Kestis. And what do you do? What do you say?
She is going to druidcraft on his body
Absolutely.
some poppies. 'Cause I looked it up. They're not only for remembrance, they're also for regeneration and resurrection. And she knows that. So she's going to just sprinkle them kind of all over his body and talk to him in Celestial, just saying, please come back.
Absolutely. I would like for you to make a persuasion check and add your spellcasting modifier to it for using your druidcraft. And you can see all of these. What was the plants again?
Poppies.
Some poppies, all of them kind of start to sprout around this arcane circle. You see the necromancy tendrils glowing with this green starts to almost take on the color of the poppy as they gently sway right next to the tendrils around, creating this bed of plant underneath Kestis's floating body. You can see light shining from the middle of the circle up through Kestis, up into the ceiling of this place. This very thin, about like a 6 diameter beam of light that seems to be spreading up through him. Yes, if I can have that roll, please. A charisma persuasion with your spellcasting modifier added on top of it.
I don't know how to do that, but I'm also going to use, I've counted, I have 3 d4s extra, so I'm just going to load them all in.
We'll just do the math. You do the persuasion check, and then, and you can do the d4s one at a time, so you don't have to use them all if you don't want to. You know what the DC is? It's 15. So make the persuasion check. Add. I think it's spellcasting modifier is +3, +4, maybe.
Mine is it your proficiency bonus?
No,
oh,
the
+4. So
the spellcaster modifier.
+4.
So
17.
beautiful. Good stuff. So yeah, so 13 plus 4, 17. You automatically know that you feel good about that. The DC goes down by 1. You make your appeal. You see the energy kind of come out of the circle, pump into Kestis's body, and his body kind of like it recoils in response to it. You can see fingers twitching a bit. You feel good about it. Anything
She's
else?
gonna back up and Sai have Wing kind of sit on the floor.
Memories
So-
of past.
She's not doing well.
I don't want to say failures, but just
Guilty. She looks guilty.
ineptitude. Guilt is racking her face as she kind of plops down onto the floor there. Little flowers just inadvertently popping up right where she's sitting. You can see Kestis's body, the pulse of magical energy leaving him, going up into the sky there. And who's next? Who wants to do what next?
I'll go. So,
Please.
we'll kind of get down on one knee by him. Are we allowed to touch him, or is he got to stay within the circle and not be touched?
You talking to Fade?
May I touch him, or should I not disturb him inside the circle?
You see Fade there, kind of arms out, channeling the energy. You see him glowing a little bit. You see a green light across his eyes, and he says, "Whatever you need to do to make your connection, just please do it. Just be careful of the runes on the floor there. If you are to scrub one out, who knows what might occur."
So very carefully, make sure he doesn't disturb any of the runes, and he places his a hand on Kestis's forearm, and in the other hand, he's holding the broken crystal that Kestis gave him, that he was going to be using for his homunculus. And he's like, Kestis, you gave me this not too long ago, and said that I would probably find more use of it than you would, and you were correct. I will be using this as the heart of my homunculus, and it's going to be an amazing thing, and I would so like for you to be here to see this magical wonder that you helped create by giving me this. And I would like to use Arcana for this.
Absolutely. You can see Ing walking toward them, holding up this cracked gem Go ahead.
I'm adding the D4 that you gave us earlier too.
Please do. Please do. And you're speaking out to him, and you can see the magical energies starting to swell up a bit there, and then you just a little, you feel like there's something is just not quite connecting, and you remember the small exchange that you two shared about these stones specifically. They were very important to Kestis, tying to something happening in his past, and that small connection where you formed the term Thunder Brother. You almost hear it in Kestis's voice in your mind, and you see the energy underneath boom, explode, build up, and pump through Kestis, this white beam. Again, his body harder, more violently this time. Kestis sees these images. Kestis sees things. You can see his eyelids flutter a bit, and you see the DC will go down, and the beam extends up into the sky. Anything else?
He does look at it, and he's kind of taken aback because he did not feel that this was going to work correctly, and he kind of just a short intake of breath, a little gasp as the light grows and the eyes flutter.
Absolutely. You see has just kind of almost agilely kind of just walked up behind you. He's a little bit of he's got a little grace to him, kind of places his hand, his heavy mitt on your shoulder. You are familiar with it, and he says, "Brother, I welcome him into our family." And pulls out a gun, bang, bang, and just shoots up into the sky. And you see Lynn, "Oh, you're paying for that. You're definitely paying for that. Are you out of your fucking mind?" And throws a couple of platinum over, and she says, "Just take care of it." Kind of tucks it away. And you see as shields his gun, boom, this magical energy pumping up through Kestis' body. The eyelids are flashing. They open wide. You see white light coming from his eyes, his mouth open, white light coming from his mouth. Everything seems to be working. Who is next?
Supposed to be
Zaltik?
me, right?
Let's go.
All right. Just trying to figure out, I guess, the sort of thing I could use here for this. I was thinking maybe, like, since I have all these psionic powers, maybe there's some way I could, like, use that to help channel into whatever I need to speak to, if possible. I'm not...
Very likely. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so I'd just like to, like, channel my psychic powers to just kind of, like, just help, like, speak the few words to wherever I need, and, like, memories, and no, maybe that has some sort of effect.
Zaltik, you, as you're so used to doing, you extend your mind into where Kestis's mind should be. However that shit works, who knows? But you reach out with your telepathy, and you avoid. Mostly is what you're getting. You see a flash in your mind for a very brief moment. It appears you see what looks like maybe a Sahara. It's some kind of landscape with these tall grasses in it. Immediately goes away. You have no idea what the fuck that shit is. Never seen nothing like that before in your life. Roll for me if you will. Give me. You know what? This is what we'll do. Give me a sleight of hand check. As you take your psionic dagger, forms in your hand. You flip it over, grab it by the blade, and you just gently place it down onto Kestis's chest. And as you place the dagger down, you see you're used to, as soon as you release it, it fades away. it maintains there. You rolled a 13, clearly not high enough. Do you want to do something to change that?
Yeah, I could add one of my D4s, and I'll have a couple
Sure.
of them.
All right.
So I'll just do one of them and see what happens.
Beautiful. Just barely make it. As you place your psionic dagger there, you see that it becomes more and more corporeal, that red dagger. And you see the red of the dagger, as the psionics become a physical dagger, you see the red is blood that drips off of the dagger onto and into Kestis's armor that he wears, and it just dissipates. The blood, a memory flashes in your mind, this incredibly powerful sense of guilt. But then behind it, almost this weird connection that you feel. And you again see that flash of that like Sahara, that like strange landscape. You see these massive beasts that then kind of fade into the distance and starts to disappear, and it becomes impossible for you to see, and then it goes away. Some kind of connection as you see the magical energy underneath the circle up through Kestis's body. As 1, 2, 3, 4, so Edo. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Anything else, Zaltek?
No. You're all good.
All right. As Zaltek kind of slinks back into the shadow. Edo, you're in the shadow. Sentries rest. You're kind of aware of everything that's happening. You are also aware of all of the shadows around you. These little tendrils seem to be coming off of the shadows. The shadow that you're standing in is this pillar. There's kind of a flaming torch behind it. The shadow, of course, is flickering, as would a torch, a shadow caused by a flaming torch would. And then there are these little tendrils that kind of come off of it, almost imperceptible. Only you see it. It feels like a part of you. You see all of this happening in front of you. Is there anything you would like to do during this moment, or are you just the respectful observer, the witness to this?
I think Ito would be somewhat in the back and still being observant. I think at some point, probably in the, I mean, I wouldn't be able to hear what Zaltek was saying, but I think the probably would have at the very least been disturbed in some way of his sentry's rest from doing some desk pops, but would probably walk forward, probably be about a pace or two behind Ing and Claire. And just would, I think the only thing that Ito would say is, I don't know you. I don't tend to work with people, but what I do know, especially from the time I've been able to spend with these people here, I can see that they value you as a friend, a close, trusted ally. Is something that's all new to me. I don't know who I'd be praying to, but I sure hope you come back.
And you are attempting to pray then, yes?
Sure.
Beautiful. So, give me a perception. Give me a persuasion check, and give me a religion check, and add your charisma modifier to it.
Religion.
Oof, that's rough.
Cool. None of my modifiers
That's
matter.
rough.
That's
rough. You walk up there. You took a chance. You see the shadows of you. Are you doing this from your sentry's rest, or did you walk toward the body?
No, I would have come out of.
You walked
that.
out. You see the all of you see these weird shadows gently at the edges of Ito's body. Something different than what you've seen before from him. You saw something similar when he, did some of his magic, but this is different. It's kind of constant. You see as you're walking up, Basindi almost takes a step back from you and kind of confused. He kind of like looks strange at you. Fade completely hides any feelings that he has. You don't see anything as he's focusing there, but he does turn toward you, and his green eyes glowing, this like fully engulfed green energy radiating from his eyes, glowing as he's looking at you. And you attempt to reach out, but you feel something stops your plea. It's just blocking. You feel this as you're reaching out. You can see what looks like light, something to attach to, but then this just shadow just completely blocks it. And you hear a voice say, "Return home," kind of from one side to the other. Doesn't look like anything happens. You see the light underneath Kestis stays pretty solid, as everybody else has done, but it looks like maybe your contribution wasn't as successful.
Ito would just kind of put a hand up to almost put it on Ing's back, and then just kind of just pull back, and he'd probably just take a step back. Probably doesn't want to get too involved or invested.
Absolutely. So, with that, Kestis, I would like for you to make a religion check. And describe for me the kinds of things, well, maybe make a persuasion check and describe for me the kinds of things that you're seeing as it's kind of going away from you, and the focus of all of your quick friends here and a couple of people you don't know. One of them wearing what looks like the Talons of Justice insignia seems very interesting to you. Inside this strange room, around what you can clearly see is your body.
Sorry, what are you? It's so you want me to roll
Make a
that
persuasion check.
You want me to roll that as Kestis?
As Kestis, yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna do that manually then.
And describe for me the things that you're seeing as you're leaving one place and returning to another.
I think what Kestis would see in all that would be, certainly flashes of the various things that the various pleas from those that have given them. It would definitely, there would be resonance for sure in the vestments of the other Dragonborn, and I think what would really stick out is that all of this is his first foray into Wildspace, and while it was so far has been short-lived, no pun intended, it would be quite resonant to him that he's on the path that has been set out for him from his own past, from his patron Bahamut, and he'd certainly feel a pull back to life, I guess. So
absolutely.
With that,
make a roll for me. Boy, that is rough. Luckily, the DC started at 12. And you had exactly four successful pleas. So as you're looking down at your friends, you can see, you remember the place that you left. You saw glimpses of the place that you left. Feel free to share them if you want to or not. That is entirely up to you. you can feel this tether, almost as though you're being pulled back to where you belong. Anything else that you want to kind of say? Do you feel this tether? What do? You kind of looking down over the room. You see this beam of light coming out of your body and is hitting into your soul.
Would that be in reference to the things that the glimpses that they would have caught through? Is that what you're talking, like when they're making their pleas, you're saying they caught some glimpses,
so,
like you're talking about Zeltek?
So Zeltek saw some of the things that you saw, as he was able to connect with you, somehow psionically, even through the different planes that exist. But right now, you are looking down at your body. This magical beam of light is connecting you to it. You feel like you can choose to go down or go up. What do you do?
He's certainly gonna choose to go down. There's no question that I think
you immediately feel this tug on the inside of your essence. You don't have a body, but you feel this tug as you are like thrust down into your body. All of you see what appears to be the white semblance of a humanoid form that is riding this beam down into the body. Poof, explodes. The runes erase. You see this magical blast of energy explode out from where it is. None of you can see anything. It is just bright white light, and everybody's kind of shielding their eyes. And standing there, or laying there, Kestis, you feel the hard floor beneath you. You feel where the hell? Why is my music not playing? You feel the hard floor beneath you. You can feel the lights are too bright on your eyes. All of you, as the light recedes, you can see Kestis there. Breath filling his lungs, and you are now returned and back and alive.
Hoorah. I think the first thing that Kestis would kind of do would, I don't know that he would take like a super deep kind of like deep breath in, but he would definitely kind of like slowly come to it, kind of get a sense of kind of just getting his bearings and kind of seeing like, is this a vision? Am I actually here?
You see, kind of grabbing your chest, like.
Yeah, just kind of doing a slow inventory of like, the pinch test and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And would put a hand up and place it on the amulet that he has. It's not out, but it's the amulet that would be under his clothes, and would just kind of slowly start to kind of stand up and kind of look around. And I think the first person that he would make eye contact with, probably being one of the closest ones to him, would be Ing, and would look at him.
Say immediately, like, I'm jumping in for like a bear hug. That's just happening.
Yeah, he's gonna embrace for sure. And
as Ing slams his body into you, you suddenly feel this immense weakness. You just are exhausted. You have 3 levels of exhaustion. You feel incredibly weak. You have 1 HP. You do not feel good. And you see Fade, whose magical energy is starting to recede now. And he's, yes, be careful with him. He'll be quite fragile. As Ing just slams into you and grabs you.
He's just gonna clasp and give a good pull and kind of hold him back and kind of hold his shoulders and kind of be, give it in an embrace, but also using Ing to kind of make sure it kind of stays upright, and
absolutely
look him over for a moment and say, well, you look worse than I feel. How long has it been?
Too long! Too long, my thunder brother!
Well, I'm back. Is that? This is weird.
You do not feel good,
I would imagine so.
but you are alive. You have returned.
Ing does look around. He's like, "Hey, what are you all gawking at? Get the man a blanket, a pillow. Bar matron, do you have somewhere the man we can lay him down? He's on the floor here. He needs some comfort. Something.
And a drink.
Yes.
Something
Drink.
strong.
You see Lynn Vest and it says, that one I can do. Runs behind the bar. You just came back to life. Dragonborn, I got just the thing. Starts whipping something up. You have no idea what it is. You guys continue. You see Fade standing there and says, yes, a success. And Bisendi kind of smiles a little bit. He says, And you see Saphira there, the Dragonborn, this kind of, golden Dragonborn, just looking down, broad smile. It was good. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I assume your friends have some Claire.
Yeah.
How are you responding to this
I
scene
will
that you
say
see?
this entire time sitting down, she's been druid crafting white lilies because they're for funerals
Yes.
and for rebirth. So she just has this bouquet
Okay.
of lilies. So she kind of just stands up and just tries to hand them over to Kestis. Like, I am into flowers.
Absolutely.
Kestis would happily reach out and take one, and it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see all of you again. And would look over at Saphira and just immediately clock the vestments of the Talons and say, it's interesting to meet you under these circumstances. And then he'll reach out and he'll pull out his amulet. Those of none of you would have seen it yet, but it's a very finely intricately crafted. It's Bahamut is what it is. It's like a bronze, well crafted amulet, and he's gonna reach out with his hand to Saphira and say, I guess should probably properly introduce myself, Kestis of the Hammerclaws.
She extends a hand and says, I see you're a follower of the Platinum Dragon. We'll have time to talk. Be with your companions for now.
Much obliged.
Grips you tightly and let you go. Kind of steps back.
Then Kestis would just kind of give a good nod and then would kind of go to greet him in whatever capacity he's able to, his fellow party members.
You'll see Hogun kind of in the back there, standing back, looking around. You see him kind of nod to you, has a mug in his hand, and at that time you'll see Lynn walking up with a mug, hands it to you. You see this almost like shimmering pale, almost platinum drink. And he says, "Yeah, we call it the Platinum Dragon. Enjoy." Kind of pats you on the ass and walks away. Zaltik.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, so after everything that's just happened with Kestis there, from wherever I was at in the room, I was going to just speak into his mind and say, "It's good to have you back, comrade."
Feeling good to be back.
Certainly
Well.
don't look that way. Hopefully you can start feeling that way soon.
I think a rest, a proper rest,
About
not
3
the
of
one
them.
ahead. Yeah, a couple of them might be in order. Cricks his neck.
I'm sure we could all use that.
With that, holding the white lilies that Claire gave you, you notice that they're still growing a little bit, but then they kind of settle in. They slow down and they settle into whatever length that they desired to be. And is there anything else that anybody would like to do or say?
Ito would be kind of watching at a distance, and once kind of Fari has removed himself from this situation, he would go up to him and continue his conversation, or further the conversation that he was having with Basendi.
As you walk up to Fade, Ito walks up to Fade and starts talking about, is there anything you can tell me about the unhuman ones? Fade says, oh, yes, absolutely. Now, we were talking, Basendi has filled me in that you may have some questions. We'll carve out a space over here, and we can speak to your heart's content. I just have a couple of things that I would like to speak with this group about beforehand. But yes, absolutely. Promptly afterward. So that happens. Anybody else?
Ing, as almost an afterthought, looking at Kessis, goes, and he goes in his pouch and he takes out the 340 platinum and he opens Kessis' hand. He's like, here you go. You see,
it's a ridiculous amount of platinum to try and hand to somebody.
Yes, it is.
Here's a little bit more.
Just put it on his chest. Just like.
Oh, well.
Well, I'm sure Kessis has like a pouch or something that he can like drop.
He's got
in.
something to put it in. Yep.
Yeah, we'll take a moment to have to, arrange it for sure. This dyeing business is
Lucrative.
Lucrative, apparently. I don't advise we do it very often, but
No, I wouldn't either. I think we have enough coin on us for the time being that no one needs to die for more. I think we're good.
you're here. He's gonna raise his drink and take a good gulp.
Ing will go back to the table and continue his study to prepare to create his homunculus after he rests. He would look up though at the assembled people there, the bar matron and all the other people, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, is there do we have what time of the day is it, by the way?"
It feels like it's a little bit before noon, probably like 11 a.m.
Okay,
it's quite
so
early.
we wouldn't be going to sleep until later in the day anyway. All right, so is there any shops that one can visit? I was looking for specifically like tools and perhaps armor. Is there anything in here? It seems like a pretty big city.
You see Basendi kind of says, "Oh, well, I may be able to assist you with something," and then Holgun kind of interrupts, I got you. Don't worry. I'll take it. I'll take you to the jeweler. He probably has everything that you need. Don't even worry about it. Right? Great guy. I know him personally. Right here on the annex, too, so he's not too far away.
Not jewelry. I just need some tools, smithing tools I was looking for, and an armor.
No, you misunderstand. We call him the jeweler. That's not the only thing that he does.
Sketchy, but okay.
Yeah, you see Saphira kind of pinches the bridge of her nose and shakes her head a little bit. And Hogan says, "Yeah, well, I mean, hey, look, all right? I am who I am. Who am I to, And Lynn kind of chuckles. Hogan. Claire, I heard some murmurs. Talk to me.
She piped in that I need a diamond worth a lot in case someone decides to die again. 'Cause I can't do this again.
Huzzah! That would come in handy. Yes.
Promise you it won't be my decision.
Speaking of which, I just expended a 500 gold piece diamond to perform this. Wrong voice. I just expended a 500 gold piece diamond to perform this ritual. Might I be reimbursed for that? I mean, it certainly was a favor, and you could all owe me one if you'd like.
No, we will definitely chip in. We don't need to be indebted to anyone. That's you all.
Cast his hands over 300 platinum, or whatever the equivalent of 300 gold. 30 platinum.
So
a platinum is 10 gold.
30 platinum.
Yeah. So you hand him 30 platinum. He says, good. So just 20 more then. And now you'll only owe me for the expending of the spell energy. No,
yeah, me
I'll
and
come calling
Ohm
when I need.
Me and Ohm each give him an extra 10 platinum. Ian gives him 10 platinum.
Absolutely.
And Ohm will give him 10.
Ohm
platinum,
throws him
so.
10. He almost does like a little movement with his wrist. The platinum just kind of disappears. And he says, "Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Diamonds are quite hard to find sometimes." Speaking of which, I might have a job for you all. And then you hear Hogan say, nah. They have a job lined up, all right? Don't worry about it. We have a job already. You don't have to, it's not that big of a deal. And then Saphira says, there is still that dragon egg business that we could possibly work something out about. Although you might want to rest up a little bit before, it kind of points to Kestis. You might want to take a few days to yourself before you, go trifling with any extremist factions. But that offer is still on the table, although you don't need the resurrection anymore. And she kind of looks up and down, Kestis, and says, I'm quite glad that you've returned to your original form. So maybe this is all for the best.
You and me both. I think a rest is, or 2 or 4 is certainly in order. Can I, a place for me to get a room here on the... Are we on the Citadel? Did we make it to the Citadel? Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You did miss quite a bit. Yes. There was an entire airship ride. We arrived. There was shenanigans. A demon of sorts. This gentleman here at Warforged joined. A lot of stuff happened. We have a lot of catching up to do. And it's only been 6 hours? We got a lot of...
It's been about 2-3 days. It was a couple-day trip. In the
Yeah, but all the eventful shit happened after we got off the ship.
That's true. It's been about 6 hours.
A lot of catching up, I'm sure. I feel I owe at least a little bit more of my mission to you guys. We'll be talking, but I definitely need a rest. And he's gonna down the rest of his drink.
And drink is fucking delicious. Perfect, right? And you almost feel like it's like revitalizing to you. It doesn't actually give you any mechanical, revitalization, but it feels really fucking good. So anything else from anybody else?
While I'm in just my own spot, just kind of back in a corner or whatever, I would like to take out that little note from the dwarf and read and see if there's anything on it.
So as you're reading, you look down, it's scrawled out, very, very fine penmanship too. It gives you the feeling that it probably wasn't written by the dwarf itself, especially because at the top of it, it has a incredibly dwarven name. It just says, I don't know, I need a dwarf name. It says Filnor. Filnor, and that feels like a dwarven name, I guess. And it says, meet me behind the library. It's 6 p.m. This is love. Elise.
All right.
The last name is what does it. Filnor Shatter Shield. There you go.
Exactly. Filnor Shadow Shield. That's
Cool.
his name forever now.
I take note of this and think maybe I'll check it out. Wait, where did it say it was at?
It said meet me behind the library at 6 p.m.
Do I know where that is?
No, you have no. What are you talking about?
Sure.
How would you?
Okay, so I don't know. I guess I might have passed by it.
You know where the necromancer Wraith lair is. That's the only thing that you know about this place.
Sure. So what's his name? Holgun that was with me.
Holgun?
Is he still?
Yeah.
Is he still in there with us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I want to just just ask him. So just between us two, where's the library around here?
He kind of looks around. He says, and he throws in thieves' can't sign language back at you. I mean, I can tell you where it is, but I can take you to there, I guess. What the fuck do you need? You guys can see Hogun just doing these signs in Zeltik's direction. Don't know what the signs are.
Just curious of where it may be.
And he kind of just makes like a gesture around him and kind of like points in a direction through the wall.
Okay. Cool.
So with that, Claire, anything you want to do, say during this time?
She's gonna stay by Kestis and kind of look him over and see if there's any damage to what he's wearing. It's like, I can fix your clothes if you have anything.
You can see some marks from where the stardust method gouged into him. His body fully repaired, exhausted, but the clothing and things torn.
She's gonna wait for him to nod. It's okay.
I was nodding.
Alright. And she's gonna start mending the cantrip.
Walk up, place your hands against his chest there. You feel this a little bit of like heat as you have been close to him while he was dead. The body was incredibly cold and void, and you just feel the heat emanating off of him as you are pumping your spell energy into him, and slowly you could see those tears into his armor and things kind of re-linking themselves, the cloth and leather patching itself, reversing the damage that was done to it. It takes a little time, significant amount of damage, get it done.
No, you don't have to remember.
Sometimes the things we remember are what help us go forward. But I appreciate it, and I'm glad to be back and to be back in all your presence. I can use lay on hands on myself.
I believe your lay on hands pool was empty. Think you used it? I don't remember.
Probably. Well, I mean, I'm sure I have at least one spell slot left, so we'll at least use a level 1 cure wounds.
Sure. So that happens now. Everyone, I would like to take a break. Big ass goddamn numbers. I'd like to take a break. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes and to, continue with whatever this next bit is going to be. Yeah? Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Beautiful.
10 minutes. Cool.
Intermission. And you have.
How's everybody? How's everybody feeling? We ready to get back into it?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Kestis is reborn. Edo still exists. You guys are all hanging out here getting ready to go shopping. It seems like a couple of people want to go shopping, it seems. You know. So diving back in, what do you guys want to do?
Sleep.
Well, Kestis needs to sleep. Ing can't do anything with the homunculus until after the long rest, so he does his little prep work. So shopping is all Ing is interested in right now, and letting Kestis rest.
I don't have. Zaltic doesn't have much interest of much other than seeing what may potentially be behind the library at 6 p.m.
Why do I
So he
feel
will be
Zaltic is
keeping an eye on the time.
looking to get someone's wife? Hey, sweetheart, 4 arms are better than 2.
Yuck.
All I can think about is fucking Watchmen with fucking Dr. Manhattan and the 4 arms.
Right. Clones and shit. Okay. So you guys want to go shopping? You'll see Fade kind of stops and says, well, you all appear to be looking like you're wanting to go and do some things, so I just have a request for you. If you all do happen upon a moonstone dragon, I would appreciate it if you could let me know. I don't think that it's likely, but since you all seem to be some band of adventurers who are going to be getting up to all kinds of things, I would appreciate it.
Ing wants to say something, but he looks at Zaltek because Zaltek's the one who usually says it, and he just kind of eyeballs him, kind of side glances at Zaltek.
In speaking into his mind, and the pay, if maybe, maybe some compensation of some sort.
He says, well, of course there will be some kind of compensation if your tip does prove fruitful. Of course.
Good. We'll keep that in mind.
I mean, I don't imagine that it's very likely, but if, you're doing some traveling in the nearby area, it could be possible. I'd appreciate it.
We'll keep an eye out. After all, compensation does lead to the money.
The money.
Yes. Yes, of course. Well, if there's nothing else, it has been a pleasure, and I may come calling on you in the future. Please be receptive. I would hate to sully our rapport. And he just floats toward where the door is. And Basendi says, well, don't worry about him. He's always talking like that. He's just, I don't know. Ever since Sudil kicked him out of the 6. But he says, fuck you, Basendi. And then just leaves out of the building. Cindy says, I agree, though. It seems working with you all could be very fruitful for us mutually. If I have anything, I'll come calling.
Says the one who seems surprised that we survived. Sips his coffee.
Absolutely, yes. Especially when I went down there and saw what it was that you all were facing. I'm even more impressed. So,
Speaking of which,
I do have things
why did
to
you
tend to.
blast? Oh, I'm sure you do. You blasted a hole in the wall. You just came out of nowhere. Why did we even have to go?
I don't understand the question. I wasn't sure what the nature of those
Your
beasts were.
arrival
I
was
didn't
quite
want to do it.
serendipitous. How did you just happen to know to arrive when you did?
Exactly.
He kind of looks at you and says, is there an accusation that you would like to levy? And you hear Saphira
It is
say,
a question,
"Ah,
sir.
You hear Saphira say at the same time, says, but Cindy, don't be like that. They're curious. And he says, I offer you an opportunity not only to make an incredible amount of money, far more than would be considered apropos for the task, albeit I didn't know exactly how dangerous the task might be, and I orchestrate for the revival of your companion, and you take this accusatory tone with me. Very curious behavior, don't you think?
No,
Certainly
curious
isn't
behavior is
grateful.
blasting a hole in a wall and just happened to arrive while we were finishing up business that we almost died 3 times completing for you. So no, it's not curious. Your behavior was the curious one.
Exactly.
You see, he just kind of looks stiff there, and he says, well, you can't make me explain myself. And he turns around and starts to walk away.
So you're not
I
even
would
gonna
like to
suggest
speak into
divination?
his mind. Oh, sorry, what were we saying?
She's just shouting at
Claire?
him like, you're not even going to suggest divination as an excuse? Nothing?
Well, if you know the answer, darling.
But I
Wait,
wanna
but Cindy
hear
doesn't say darling. Sorry.
He's not far, eh?
He doesn't do that. He says, well, if it seems that your basis of knowledge is sufficient enough to take an educated guess, I would suggest, inventor, that you learn from your druidic friend. And he just walks away.
While he's walking away,
You hear how he said inventor like it was some dirty word.
He's a liar.
He's a liar. Zaltek?
yeah. So while he was walking away, I just wanted to speak into his mind and then say, well, personally, I found that tunnel quite helpful.
And you see his staff kind of raise as he's walking away. You see the mage hand kind of come out, and it just waves off. You all see the mage hand come out and wave. Only Zaltek knows what he's referring to.
Be gone with y'all.
And he walks out of the door. Hogan says, all right. Jesus, I thought they were never going to leave. Oh, Saphira, always a pleasure to see you. I think I'm going to take my friends back to their ship. You know, we're going to get comfortable. Lynn, you guys made quite a bit of money. You want to have a barrel sent to the ship, maybe? Some resources and things? I can actually orchestrate some things if you'd like to have some, what do you call it? Their resources and things put on the ship, food and water and all kinds of things. Maybe have some of the repairs done. And also, maybe put some weapons on that shit, because if you guys are going to be out here in space, you're going to need to be able to defend yourselves.
Wait, weapons on the ship? Like, what do you mean? What, like?
You know, like mangonels and giant crossbow-looking things.
Hey, Zaltek, have you ever been on a seafaring ship? They have weaponry on those as well. Why wouldn't this one not? We got attacked in space by
Harpoons.
space whale monsters, and I mean, did you not?
I've never been out in sea.
But you were on a ship with us, getting attacked by creatures in space. I mean, obviously.
A spaceship,
Yes.
not a sea ship.
I suppose that would be apropos. Yes, that would be something that we could use aboard. Have we named the ship? A ship needs a proper name, don't you all agree?
I agree. I definitely think that's the case. Hogun kind of pops up.
We should think over it. Make sure it's good.
I think it's unwise for us to carry much more journeys in that without having a proper name associated with it. I tend to agree.
I propose the Ninurta.
That's,
Come again?
what is that?
Ninurta. Did death hurt your hearing, my friend?
Why did you just make up a random name? We prefer something that actually has meaning than gibberish.
Uneducated fool. It's okay. I suppose you'd like to name it something like click, 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 something that comes out of your mouth. You know, one of those things.
Don't be like
Oh,
that.
insult me now.
You know how many times he's been in my head unconsensually?
We're all friends. We're all friends.
Yeah, Castus is gonna look over at Claire. You didn't get any quieter in the time I was away, I guess. And he's gonna look over at Aang and say, "Death didn't hurt my hearing, but it sure did give me a headache. So appreciate that."
I have a joke name now. What if you named the ship the Headache? Because it gives you a headache when you're steering for too long.
Now that's a capital idea, I think.
Oh
Let's
no,
hope-
the
let's
headache
hope
is
we're-
coming.
Let's hope we're dishing out those headaches rather than getting them dealt to us.
You'll see Saphira kind of walking forward to Kestis and say, "It certainly is a pleasure to formally meet you, of course. It looks like you need some rest. Hogun kind of shouts over, I would like to meet with this one in a few days, maybe. I can send the details of the mission I would ask of you. I can have them sent to your ship. You and at the docks, I presume. Will it be known as the Headache? Hogun says, it'll be in my lot. You know, the third one. You know the one. It'll be there. And if you need help, you know how to contact me. And she says, sure, absolutely. In the meantime, try to get some rest. She says to Kestis. We'll talk soon.
That I will. Look forward to it. I'm sure that you and I have a lot to discuss. I certainly have some questions I'd like to bend your ear on.
It's a pleasure. She just walks away. So, you guys want to go shopping?
Yes, sir.
Hear Hogun say, all right, then I'll take you straight to the jeweler's.
So, Claire needed a diamond. Are you taking her to the blacksmith to get her diamond while we go to the jeweler for my tools? Is that?
Don't be bitter.
No, I get it. That's funny. Yeah. But the thing about the jeweler is, he started as a smuggler. You know what I mean? And then he set up a little shop here in the annex, and he kind of is the go-between between the promenade and the anvil. And the promenade obviously has all of the fancy things that trickle down into the anvil, and the anvil has all of the mechanical and worksman's things that kind of trickle up into the promenade kind of thing. So he's like he's the guy. He's the guy.
The
If you're looking for
ne'er-do-well.
something, he's probably the guy.
The ne'er-do-well. Yes.
That feels kind of judgmental, but sure, whatever you want to call it.
I have dealt with me and Ohm have been ne'er-do-wells many times in our life. It's not judgmental. It's just a statement of fact.
Sure. Absolutely. So we ready to go then?
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Ink puts
Hey,
everything
Lynn,
in his bag.
appreciate you. Flips a gold coin. Lynn snatches it out of the air with her big dragon arm and says, I look forward to seeing you next time. Pockets it, walks away. Kind of starts wiping things up a little bit. And you all follow. Sorry, hold on. Before we do that, Ito, what does Ito want to do? Or has Ito already disappeared into the shadows, never to be heard from again?
I think Ito would probably have. I don't know that he would have had a formal goodbye in any particular sense, but at least I think probably the one individual that he would, the two that he would more at least have kind of a quick word with before he left would be Claire and Zaltik. He didn't necessarily relate to the boisterousness of the two larger and more imposing fellows in the group, but I think all that he would say to Claire would be I hope you find the things that you're looking for.
I hope the same for you.
Just gonna nod and walk away, and walk over to Zaltik, and I don't know that there would be anything in specific that he would say to Zaltik, but I think that probably the one thing that he would say is you handled yourself in pretty well back there, and if you're around and you need help, you let me know. I'm sure we'll cross paths.
Shall we meet again?
And Ito's gonna exit stage left.
Ito, actually, a little bit of retcon. Ito and Fade leave together, and they're engaging in a conversation, and who knows what the contents of that conversation might be. Maybe we'll find out in the future. We'll see.
Or maybe not. We may die before we reach that.
Bye, Ito. Gone forever.
With my track record of characters.
Hey, this one served its purpose and didn't die. So I mean that's a that's a positive.
Yeah. Alarmingly close, but
Beautiful stuff. So with that, they disappear. You guys start walking up, gathering with Hogun. Hogun says, "Follow me. I'll take you right to the jewelers." Kind of walks you out onto the annex is kind of situated between the anvil and the promenade. So you can kind of see both places. It's a little bit more promenade facing. So as you walk out, you kind of just see this glorious, incredibly ostentatious section of city, downtown, kind of big city vibes here. Lots of people walking around wearing their finest robes, lots of people who kind of look like scholars and things. Every once in a while you see a little bit of like somebody who's more of a crafts person and things, but even the workmen's, the blue collars that you will see here, they have the finest blue collars that you might have ever seen walking around the promenade here. And and he kind of leads you through until you see what appears to be looks like a little, almost like a closet door in the side of this incredibly tall building. And he says, right through here. And he kind of opens the door up, and you can see inside of the place. It doesn't really look like a store. Looks kind of like an office building, almost like an office. Like you look like you just walked into someone's like personal den. And seated there, you see an incredibly well-dressed orcish gentleman. And get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Go away. An incredibly well-dressed orcish gentleman. You can see he's wearing what appears to be most of a three-piece suit, just the vest on. You can see the matching jacket kind of hanging on his chair, the whitest, most crisp white shirt that you've ever seen, cufflinks and things. You can see that cufflinks have little L's on them, and they have kind of diamonds or some kind of precious gem encrusted into the cufflinks. And the vest has a little chain on one of the buttons that falls into a little vest pocket here. This massive orc, just this incredibly large Michael Clark Duncan looking motherfucker with like this tiny nose, and has a piercing in it with a chain that extends out to his ear, a very small ear, like an incredibly small set of ears for an orc. Full-blooded orc, tusks coming up. You can see where he's filed them down a bit to keep them from being too ostentatious. Hair slicked back, incredibly prim and proper. And he's kind of arm folded, sitting at the desk, and says, Holgoon, welcome. Come in. It's always a pleasure to see you. Welcome. You have some friends here with you. What can I do you for? Is there something that you might be looking for, or is this just a social call? And Hogan kind of says, Levere, it's always a pleasure. He kind of walks up to him. He's significantly shorter. As he walks up, sticks his hand out. Levere stands up to his full height. I mean, just doubles Hogan width and height easily. Extends his arm down and kind of shakes Hogan's hand. And Hogan, put it in, and kind of grabs his hand, shaking him. And he says, it's always good to see you, buddy. Now, I got some friends here. They want to, they got some various things that they might need. And, I don't like to go to none of the fancy chaps up here in the promenade, and the quality just isn't that good down there in the anvil. And I fostered a relationship, right? So I might as well use it. Yeah, I don't come by here all that often, Levere. I appreciate you taking care of us. And he's standing there and he says, Hogun, you've done incredible works for me in the past. I greatly appreciate you bringing any business that you see fit through. I haven't ever seen you all here before. I like to keep tabs on whoever it is that comes into the Citadel. Who all might you all be?
Ing kind of leans forward immediately and sticks out his little chubby hand, like, Ingval Q Montague, pleasure to meet your acquaintance. This is my brother,
Yeah.
Ohm Montague.
Kind of puts the hand over the hand thing, does the whole pleasure to meet you. And your brother Ohm, pleasure to meet you as well. Talk to me, Claire.
She'll walk up and also hold out her hand. I'm Claire.
And you see he kind of daintily kind of grabs it a bit and doesn't go down for the full kiss, but gives you a little southern gentleman bow as if to do so. And says, pleasure to meet you as well, Claire. Well, my insect friend, it's always a pleasure. I know that the three Kreen don't typically speak as is customary for most of us here, but it's also, so long as you don't mean any harm, it's a pleasure to meet you as well.
I just speak to him saying, the name's Zaltik. May we do business in the future.
Zaltik, of course. So that he sits down and you see he pulls out of his pocket what looks like the chain that's connected. He pulls out, looks like a little jeweler's lens, kind of fits it into his eye, and says, and then opens a drawer, pulls out what looks like a gem, and kind of says, well, so what kind of things are you all looking for? And he starts like looking it over, and you can see these little runes that kind of light up around the like the little jeweler's eye thing, and he starts scribbling down in a ledger, and says, waiting for whatever business.
Ing's like, well, I have quite a few things that I am looking for. But since
Of
you
course.
obviously seem to be in the market for purchase as well, I do have this. And he goes into his bag and he pulls out the fully functioning crystal that was for the airships that they found in the one chest. And he puts that. Would you have any interest in acquiring this?
And he kind of sits up a little bit. Says, "Now, where did you come across something like that?"
Well,
And he
now, so
smiles
would I ask
broadly.
you? Would I ask you where you came across your wares when you sell them to me? No, I would not.
You know what, Hogun? I like this one here. Good. You know what? I appreciate that, chap. Listen here, sport. So long as anything that you sell me doesn't get me into any trouble, we will never have a problem. Now this. Do you know what this is here?
We did a little. Holger mentioned something. I believe it was Holger. It involves something, and I did divine some information when I looked at it. Apparently, it involves some kind of power distribution or storage of magical energies in relation to the spelljamming ships.
Oh, really? Now we got ourselves here quite fine. What are you, artificer? I presume.
Artificer hooks his fingers in his apron. Yes, I'm an artificer. Yes.
There might be. I might have some work for you yet. We'll see as thing go on here. But yes, this is actually a specific. It doesn't have any kind of value beyond its arcane converting abilities. But typically they are used for spell jammers and the like, and also sometimes can be used to convert different arcane energies. Incredible here. The value of this to the right person is quite high. I could easily do you for about 200 gold pieces for this one here. If you had a bigger one, obviously you'd get more, and if you had a better cut one, you would get more. But this here for 200 gold pieces, you know, and I would be looking, and I would be a pleasure if you happen to come across any in the future.
Again, I'm not an expert in the spell jamming. It's quite new to me, but being in the engineering profession and working on other type machines and what this could do, I would guess that something like this would go for at least 500 gold. But I'd be willing to part for it. Let's meet in the middle somewhere. Let's say 350.
Jesus. This belly laugh as you see him kind of just, oh, you're good, friend. You are good. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm gonna lose this one. I always lose persuasion. Whew, not bad.
Okay, he says with 13, he said, you are good. But no, this one will not at all go fetch you 500 gold pieces unless there's some kind of a shortage. What I can do for you though, what did you say, 350? How about this? I'll give you 250 just because I like you.
Deal. We'll add that to my tab for whatever I purchase. Yes, that would be.
And he's, you know what? I like the way you do business here. So he kind of takes out a little pouch here. You see it's like a little purple pouch, has a gold string on it. And he puts that back, pulls out a little purple pouch with a silver string on it, opens it up, pulls out a few gold pieces, throw them back down into the drawer, closes it, and puts it down and says, that'll be yours. Whenever we're finished here. What were you looking for? Was there anything specific that you were trying to?
First, a few simple items. I was just looking for, a couple of health potions, greater health potions, preferably.
Health potions? Do you expect to be
yes.
getting into trouble?
With this lot, quite often, yes. I almost died 3 times in the last 24 hours. So yes,
Well, I can't do greater, but I do have some health potions that I can part with. He kind of reaches down under the desk. He kind of leans in his chair under the desk and pulls out this box, kind of pulls it up, dusts it off, and opens it up. He says, I've had these for a while, but, you know, they should do. They're 50 gold pieces each. I got about 8 of them here. How many would you like?
50 is kind of steep for not greater, but kind of looks at it. Do you
Now,
mind
don't press your luck there,
if
son.
I take a look?
Please, you're in my house.
He pulls a bottle out, puts the cork, gives a little sniff, looks at it in the light, puts it down. I would only need 2. So let's say,
Absolutely.
can we do 75 for 2?
Absolutely not. These are going to be 50 straight. If you know, maybe in the future, if this goes well and you you keep that sense of humor of yours, maybe we can work something out.
Oh, sense of humor. No, sir. It's you know, you never take the first price offered. You're a businessman. You should understand this. It's standard practice. Yes. So I'd also require a set of smithing tools. Just your variety smithing tools. Nothing
Smithing
nothing
tools.
fancy. Yes.
Please, walk. He kind of points off to the side there, and you see what looks like this kind of wall with a bunch of like drawers in it and things beside a bookcase. And he says, should be top left there, 3 drawers down. If you open that up, there should be some smithing tools right inside there. You can go ahead and grab one set out for yourself. That'll be
Yes,
20
yes,
gold pieces.
I'm assuming they're like wrapped in like the leather thing with the string.
Yeah, it's got the leather pouch there. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, so he pulls one out, he
That.
kinda rolls it out on the table, takes a look at each of them. 20 gold. That's more than that's acceptable. That is more than acceptable.
If you want, for another 15 gold pieces, I can enchant them to ensure that they won't break the first time that they're going to break.
No need to worry about that. I
No?
artificers,
Well,
right?
you know,
I
that's
can,
fine.
I can fix any set of tools that break. Mending is my thing. It's not a problem.
That's right, artificer. You know what?
yes,
You're
yes.
absolutely right.
Now, the last item may be not as easily found, perhaps, but you seem fairly capable of finding items. I'm looking to replace my scale mail with something a little heftier, something that goes more along with my guardian armor self. Something gives me a little more protection, because again, I almost died 3 times in the last 3 days, and apparently I'm the one that gets in front of everything's faces. And I also sacrificed some of my
Boy,
stamina,
you
if
certainly
will.
like to hear yourself talk now, do
Yes,
you?
yes.
What would you like, all right?
I'm looking for some plate armor, sir. Some plate armor.
Plate?
Plate.
Now that's quite the item that you're looking for there. That's quite an expensive bit of it. I don't know what your finances look like, but I don't
I'd
have
be
any
good
plate
with,
on me presently.
A plus
but I can
one
get
of
some
scale.
plate. I can get I can get you some plate if you'd like. It's gonna be 1,500 gold pieces, and I can get it to you by tomorrow. Obviously, you would pay when you receive the item.
Yes. Let me doing a little math here. So 115, 1620 for everything. 1620. Can we say just
Right.
1550 for the whole lot? And I would definitely pay that much.
You know what? Pay up front, and I can have the plate mail delivered to you if you like. 1550, and he kind of spits in his hand and puts it out to you.
Well, yes, I work at a dock. Yes, of course. Here, and he shakes his hand.
He says, deal. He takes the pouch, puts it back into the drawer. You can hear like the coins kind of fall back into it. And he says, so, it's about 12. What is it there? Yes, 1,300 then.
Yes. So he pulls out 150 platinum pieces and 5 gold pieces, and he stacks it on the desk in front of him.
Well, absolutely. He'll take 20 platinum pieces, push them back, scoop the rest, drop them down into the sack, and say, "It has certainly been a pleasure
Oh, well,
doing
thank
business with you. For the purposes of gameplay, you can add the plate mail now, but you won't be able to use it until tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Oh, the plate, heavy plate.
Yes.
Don't worry, just increased all of the hit bonuses on my monsters.
I got rid of that. I got rid of that enchanted armor, so I need I needed that AC back.
Beautiful. So, is anyone else? Is there anything else that I can help you all with?
I do. I
Please.
want to say. So
All right.
we have an issue with dying. So do you happen to have any diamonds?
Diamonds, absolutely. Bear with me for one moment here. And he kind of gets up. And he says, "They don't call me the jeweler for no reason." And he
I
walks toward the
figured.
back. You see this curtain hanging, and he kind of like pulls it open, and you just see this incredible display, glass case of just all kinds of different jewels just sitting up on just propped up on little holders, and you can see all manner of diamond, gemstones, quartz, topaz, ruby, sapphires. If you can think about it, it is there. And you see him kind of go down. You see this massive diamond up at the top, just this huge, about the size of like your fist, and you throw your hand over your fist. And he kind of scales down. You see a little drawer underneath. He opens it up. He says, "What you looking for? About 300 gold pieces worth, or would you like just in
300,
case?"
yeah.
All right, so just one of them then, or just one set, or do you want it just in case more than one friend dies at a time? I can give you 2 for 500 if you'd like.
You know what? Sure. These guys really like to die.
Oh, in my adventuring days, it was much the same. It was much the same. Pulls out just this handful of diamonds, and you see this little pouch that is fully translucent. As he pours them in there, you can see the diamonds kind of start to fill, and he grabs another handful and he kind of pours it in, and you see him. You see his jeweler's eye almost like extend a little bit, and you see the runes on it that are like kind of blue and white. They change color a little bit, and he says, "Oh, hold on, drop." And gives it out to you. So now the jewels are easy, and he kind of holds it out to you and says, "Now that'll be 600 worth there, all right? So that'll get you 2 revivifiers. Use them carefully, all right?"
Thank you. And she reaches out to grab it. Do you happen to have
500 gold pieces, 50 platinum.
any? Yeah. She'll drop the 50 platinum then.
Beautiful. He just scoops it into a desk, closes it.
Do you happen to have any little trinkets or like gifts?
I'm sorry. Trinkets for what? Say it again, please.
Like a little gift. Something fun.
Well, let me take a look here and see what I have. And he kind of sits back in his chair, and kind of rocks a little bit, and then reaches forward. You see these books on his desk, pulls out a book, opens it up, flips through the pages a bit. You can see it's just all of these like handwritten different things on the pages there, just a bunch of kind of items, a little hard to read, but he's kind of reading through it, and he's gonna look and see what kind of things, what kind of trinkets he might have. Roll a d10 for me, Claire, please.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so 9. Beautiful stuff. This. And he says, "Oh, you know what I do have, actually? I don't know how much it would be useful to you, but I do have a little amulet that I picked up along the way. It's a little clockwork device here. It has some properties to it. You may find useful. If you'd like, I could give it to you for 100 gold pieces." or 10 platinum, since that's what you all seem to be trading in today.
You're not sure I'll take it. It looks cool.
And you kind of hand it to you. Do see it's this incredibly like well-crafted and intricate clockwork device that kind of just seems to be constantly moving, almost like a watch. Like if someone took a watch and flipped it inside out, it's just kind of tick, 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 turning and moving and things. And he says, now that there, in case you find yourself trying to use a skill that you know, it'll help you. It'll help you be more successful. Kind of, you know, depending at the time, you get to use it as you will. And he hands you a clockwork amulet, if you wanna. You can find that wherever you need to find it on D&D Beyond, whatever.
She'll give him the 10 platinum.
Beautiful stuff. Scoops it, drops it into the little drawer. Now, I certainly do hope that we get to do business in the future. You all do seem to be quite skilled here and adept and accomplished. I don't know how it is that you come to be newcomers here, and I can tell that you're new. Don't worry about how I know. And be so fortunate. Incredible, really. Holgoon, this is a great bunch. Can I help anybody else?
That's all I needed. Did anyone else need anything else?
Says, pulls out a gun, slams it on the desk. I need a new gun. And he says, well, now firearms are a little bit harder to come by, as there are certain restrictions. In fact, I'm not sure how you've been able to walk around with them around the Citadel like this. I guess no one's really noticed, but it could take me a couple of days. I can certainly get something for you to look around at. Does that seem fair to you? You know, he kind of says, all right, well, good then. I guess we'll, you know, I'll see you next time. And I'll give Chris an opportunity to try and buy some stuff. I'll give Chris the opportunity to buy some stuff in his free time. Yeah, anybody else? I'll take.
No, I can't think of anything I'd want from here. So I think I'm good. I'm just waiting for 6 o'clock to come by.
Yeah. Word up. It's about noon now, so you got a long time.
Right, I'm just showing the time. Just
looking at your imaginary watch.
I assumed that Kestis would have taken an opportunity to sleep, even if it was at the bar. I don't think that he would have come along for this.
Kestis is at the bar sleeping. Sure, why not? Kestis, you're noticing here as you're kind of slumped at a table, you just hear like Linvest kind of cleaning up around your head, and like slides you like what looks like a little cushion from one of the back rooms for you to rest on. So anything else that anybody wants to do while they're here at the jeweler?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I think I got everything.
Seems like everybody's good. We'll give Chris a chance to get to it. And you'll see Claire, with your passive perception, you can hear what sounds like breathing happening in a corner. You don't see anything, but you definitely hear breathing.
Just gonna kind of look over to Ing and see if he notices anything at all, and I'm sure he doesn't.
To Ing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's like looking at his stuff and his smithing tools, checking them out. He's completely oblivious.
She's gonna let it go.
That's it? Nothing? Oh, talk to me.
She's had enough today. She's just gonna be like, let it go.
And Hogun stands up straight and says, well, looks like we're done here. Hey, Levere, look forward to. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of things I would like to talk to you about. Kind of walks over, kind of whispers a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'll have those potions delivered to you directly. And where all are you staying? Where am I sending the plate to? Exactly. And Hogun kind of says, yeah, we got a new ship over in my third spot. All right, my third around the dock on the, you know where it is. He says, well, I'm sure that the boy will find it. So, it has been a pleasure, and you all enjoy your day. And he kind of sits back down and.
That did pique his interest. The boy.
He continues appraising his items and shit.
I'm looking at the room, and it is a gentleman's office. I don't see anything about any that would indicate children of any sorts in this place. He kind of looks. He looks at Claire. He's like, "Did you hear him say the boy?"
Yes, there's also noises.
You heard something. Did it sound like a little boy?
It sounded like something. Honestly, doesn't matter.
Ing's kind of just like looking around now. He's like, this guy's been very polite and they had a very nice tete-a-tete and did business. And now he's like kind of torn. He's like,
and you know, he kind of doesn't really look up. He's scribbling down, doing different appraisals of different things, and he says, "Oh, it's the boy. He's standing right there. Oh, that's right. Security." And then you just see this hooded individual starts to like materialize in the corner. You can't really see his face. You just see these gleaming red eyes. That's my boy. He's an incredibly useful individual there, and he has helped me on many occasions. Sometimes he makes delivery, and sometimes he does security. That's the boy there.
very odd name for something that is definitely not a boy.
And you see him just kind of like his shoulders kind of going up and down as he's like breathing. Yes, no, you know what? It is a bit misleading, but that's the only thing that he ever responded. Look, listen, it has been a pleasure. Look, you've met the boy. He's a pleasant individual when you get to know him. And he's just kind of there, like shoulders hunching up and down as he's like breathing deeply. Give me a persuasion check, Claire.
Sure. Went down as well as I figured.
Beautiful. And you see the boy. It just kind of like shifts his head a little bit. Doesn't quite look at you, but you just see this red emanating from beneath the hood as he kind of like turns towards you a bit, and just kind of continues breathing a little bit, and then you see his body almost like water rising above him. He just goes invisible from the feet up, and just disappears again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, Levere's. No, the boy's, he's perfectly, he's a bit, well, I mean, you saw him. So, that's it.
I think that's all, yeah.
Hogun says, all right, guys, well, it looks like you've had a morning. So why don't you go back to the ship? I'll bring some food and things there, and then we can talk about, the expenses and buying some different resources and supplies for the ship, all right?
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Walks out through the promenade, down through the annex, back into the anvil, out through those tunnels that you remember, those like carved tunnels with the fungus kind of growing throughout them. Some patches of the fungus looking a little less vibrant than the rest. Not sure what that's about. Back out onto the docks and brings you back to your ship, where you guys are hanging out. And that, I guess, will be the end of this session.
Woo!
If there's anything else that you would like to do in the next few hours while you're on the ship, get at me in the Discord, hit me in a DM, whatever it is. But you got some downtime. When we return, you will have taken a long rest, and you can spend the next, however, I think it was noon now. You can spend the next 6 to 8 hours doing whatever you want. Before you can actually take that long rest. So.
Oh, you know what I'm doing.
Well, he is gonna take a short rest during this time, so he can change his magically created tools from Smith tools to something else.
Yeah.
I
Take an hour, get that
do
done.
want to say quickly, Claire will
Please.
kind of go over to Kestis and give him the amulet. Just say, it's a miracle you're alive, so I got you a gift.
You can go ahead and add a clockwork amulet, Kestis, to your inventory. Wondrous item.
Appreciate the sentiment. It's very kind of you.
It's no problem.
I'll put it in the logs. But there would be a number of things that Kestis would share, just in terms of some backstory elements, kind of some reasons he's on the missions he's on, and as well as some of the things that he had seen, some of the flashes of things that he would have seen.
I mean, we can do that next time if you want to wait to do that. There's no reason. We can always have a retcon in the beginning of the session, you know.
Sure. I mean, it's relatively concise, but the one thing that he would share that I think would be a particular interest to Claire, if she doesn't already know, is that he would have got the name of the space whales that he had seen and that had been an attempt on bringing him back originally. They're called Kandori. The other thing that he would have seen was some flashes of these natural plains, these wild plains that have various monsters, creatures of all sorts of shapes and sizes, many of them considerably larger and more imposing than where they might be found otherwise. This would be a particular interest for Kestis, in that his kind of goal in life, or his patronage, is tied to the hunt and the slaying of beasts that are causing harm to others.
So you're saying that while you were dead, these are things that you saw?
Yes. Yeah, those were flashes that had come to me, come to Kestis in various forms. Some with a personal history to them, and some more of a vision than with history attached to them. And I think the other thing that he would share on the more backstory elements of it is that is probably more pertinent to Ing regarding that stone, in that it would be the last thing that he has or had pointing him in the direction of where his...
So maybe before you finish,
Sure.
we can save it, or you can... It's up to you, but unless you want to right now doing some role play, we can do that. But it is midnight, and that feels like something that
Sure. Yeah,
might
we can
be
do
more
that
fun to play out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could
Sure.
pick that up.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, but you know, but if you want to just say it, then you can do that, or you can type it in the Discord. It's up to you. It just seems like it'd be more fun to dig into that.
Sure. We'll do that.
Oh yeah. So when you said we're going to be on a shift for the next 6 or 7 hours, so are we assuming we're also going to do our long rest overnight, and next session is the next morning?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Next session will be,
Okay.
unless something happens during the long rest.
Yeah, I
next
mean
session
that'll be
will
a good thing. Anyway, Austin, because first thing in the morning after the long rest, he's gonna be making his homunculus, and he's using that crystal as the
Awesome.
heart. So that's a perfect time.
Yeah,
to
good call.
address
I
it.
like that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we forgot about... Yeah, it'd be a great opportunity for that. Cool. Yeah, that's all for me.
Anybody else? Anything else that we want to do as we closing the session up? And again, you'll have the long time before the long rest that we can revisit later. If you think of something, we can revisit the next session, or you can do it in the Discord chats, whatever you want to do. Or you can say and do whatever you want to do now. It's up to you. Anything anybody else wants to do before we close this session.
I think I'm good.
All right. So then that would be a wrap, guys. Appreciate you, right? Lots of fun role play. We successfully revived Kestis. Almost didn't work. Fucking thanks, guys. This was fun. I hope it was fun for you all. There's a couple of jobs out there for you guys, right? I don't know if Zaltic is going to share. I guess we'll see what happens. Stars and wishes, right? Stars. I don't know, man. That shit was good. That shit was a lot of cool NPC PC interactions. Some hints towards some lore stuff. I don't know if anybody picks up on those or remember those, or they become relevant later. That'll be a big star. Yeah, the appeals to return Kestis, beautiful, loved it. Yeah, I don't know. It was, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Nice, calm, cool kind of, especially after the rigmarole that fight was and all that drama was running through that dungeon. I think it's nice to have this kind of more toned down, regroup, shopping, of course. Shopping is always necessary. Session in between the hype. Yeah, good stuff. Wishes, I wish, let me see, I wish that roll wasn't so goddamn close to failure. I wish that was like
Fucking nice, man.
But then again, I kind of don't, because that was exhilarating.
I was going to say, that's pretty... Seeing that and going, oh shit, I thought he failed that, seeing that 9, alright?
So did I.
Yeah. No. Those 4 successful appeals, spending those D4s to get that, because a lot of those, you did not get those on the first time. The 2 of y'all did not get those the first time, so throwing those D4s out there really helped. Made it possible.
Thank God some of us have been banking those.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah, anybody else? Please feel free to share.
That's all I have.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I will say, it was dramatic enough that for some reason my nerd brain went towards Poe lines. My brain was immediately pulling up all these quotes from Edgar Allan Poe. I was like, this is where we're at right now, tension-wise. My brain's pulling up quotes from Poe.
It's dark.
I love it.
It's
I was like, why am I
dark
thinking about this? And I looked it up, I was like, oh, it's Poe.
Rap tap tapping.
It was Annabelle Lee for me.
Sure. I don't know what that is. Teach me.
Poem about death. So.
Beautiful. It was pretty intense too, huh? A quick little skill challenge to get the revival back. It was pretty intense.
That was good.
All right.
I guess
go ahead.
I was just say stars for me. Clara, I'm infatuated by your character. I think it's cool as shit. I'm so excited to figure out whatever the hell you're trying to do with it. It's going to be super interesting. And yeah, no, all of the RP is all awesome. Love it. I don't have any wishes.
Yeah, that
Stars.
Claire moment where she like just kind of falls down and is guilty after making the appeal to Kestis. That was pretty dope. That was some dope shit.
Yeah. And the duality
Stars.
of your flowers.
Yeah.
Spencer had a lot of RP this time. Stars for that.
Focus. Zoomed in on that motherfucker.
Stars,
run from it now, motherfucker.
Stars to more Zaltic RPing in this and finding his way back, and apparently gonna sleep with some guy's wife behind some shop at 6 o'clock.
We'll find out.
So,
Zaltic intends to find out what's going on there. gonna happen.
Stars for how the whole revivification of Kestis went. That was pretty cool. And yeah, Claire, the whole thing with the flowers and everything, that was dope. That was dope. No wishes. Everything was great.
You gotta come up with something. I wish I had more images. I gotta find a proper jeweler shop for the jeweler. That's important to me.
Yeah, I've been downloading a bunch of stuff lately too.
Just fucking pictures, yeah.
I've been using the hell out of Midjourney lately. That's like what I use to make. It's an AI art generator.
No, I hate it.
It's super fair, but it's interesting.
Midjourney though, you got to pay through the Discord to use that though, don't you? Isn't that how Midjourney works?
I've never paid for it.
It's one of them.
Okay. Maybe it's a different one. And there's one I know you got to like be in a Discord and you got to like pay for shit to use it.
I've been able to use it. I don't know how I've been able to use it, but I have. So. But yeah, that's for just making things that don't already exist. Throwing ideas together is really handy. So.
And Yellow, I don't know if you install those modules that they gave you. That gives you a lot. There's a lot of tiles and stuff in there that you can use for a lot of different things.
No, I did not actually. I want to look through those and do that. So yes, thank you for reminding me.
I would install those, and then just look at the hammer mill in that or tiles. There's a ton of shit for different things, different tokens and different kind of tiles and stuff. So it's a good thing to have, and that saves me a lot of Googling for looking at how of things. The only times I have to Google stuff is if I'm looking for something like very specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but tiles are more for like map making, right? I'm not really.
No. There's tiles for items, for things, you know.
Yeah.
Items, and you can just use that tile as an item, or create an item and use the image that tile has as the item image.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'll look at it. Who didn't go? Stars and wishes. Zaltic? I heard Claire.
Yeah, so I mean,
Cat.
I can't think of too much other than what was just already said. Like mainly, like just
meeting
roleplay
at the
was great.
library.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. All right, we gotta find out.
That'll be the first thing we do next session. I mean, every session we're gonna give 20 minutes at the top to Zaltic, so that we can pretend like he role plays to see what happens.
Just have him keep missing the bus. Keeps missing the bus, and then
I love it.
Absolutely. Any idea of the job that you guys might want to take next? I don't know. Zaltic, are you going to share?
Yes, I was planning on sharing it, like maybe either like in between either. I guess for the better roleplay purposes of the story, I'll probably share it like in the morning, whenever we pick back up.
Cool.
The dragon one is
Kestis?
intriguing. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going in order.
No. Yeah. No, that was he's related to the Saphira thing, kinda. So that's the only reason. But yeah, the dragon egg. So I don't know. Yeah. You think the dragon egg is more interesting than the serial killer who's killing criminals? Interesting.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Claire wanted that one to begin with, so.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
Fantasy storyline or Law and Order. Let's go with the fantasy storyline.
Where was it? They said, no, really though. They said that was on the Air Artiste. Is that what they said? Fair Artiste. Does that sound familiar to you guys? No, good. Yeah. Okay. So most likely we're going to be pursuing the dragon thing. Are we waiting for Kestis to fully recover from his exhaustion? He has 3 levels of it. After this long rest, he'll have 2. Are we waiting for that before we move forward, or are we going to roll the dice?
I would say that's up to Kestis.
I would say that after this long rest, that Kestis would probably want to go and maybe do a search for a magical restoration of some sort to get him back to? Like if there's something in the citadel of like a powerful cleric or something like that, a shrine or I don't know, something like that. He probably would want to go
a
in
sensory
relatively
deprivation
prepared.
chamber where you just like go in.
Yeah.
And just, like...
Kestis is gonna go for a nice float and a pedicure.
It's a good idea. All right, well, everybody, you can go ahead and hit your long rest now, right? Just so we can get it out the way. And then we'll do whatever. Mechanically, you'll take a long rest. Most likely, nothing will happen.
Most likely.
Most likely.
Well, you know. I mean, I played through a short rest before, right? So I don't really care. Yeah, no, you guys are fine.
You guys
I don't have those 2 levels of exhaustion on my character sheet. I don't know how to add those, so
they're in Foundry.
Okay, because on my effect, it doesn't show anything on my effects. I don't know where they would show up.
It's under your resources on your attributes page.
Oh, okay, so I would just have 2 then?
Right.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that's it, man. Let's we can go ahead and wrap this up. Close it out. Anything else that anybody wants to discuss, ask, pry into your fellow players' business?
I think that's it. You guys might notice
Beautiful.
some changes to Ing, some abilities that just were not there before, and he doesn't even know why they're there. So,
Oh look! I could all of a sudden do this.
like that, like legit. That's not even a joke. He doesn't know how he could do this. It just is.
See what happens.
Ing just is.
We'll see how surprised he is when he does it.
Which, depending on how things go, it could be weeks and weeks and weeks of game before I even get a chance for that to happen.
It's true.
Assuming you don't die. Never know.
I think I'm
true.
being good. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. I got my more spell slots. I got my potions. I got some stuff going on here. I got my AC back higher than it was originally. I think I'm okay. I think I'll be all right. He's officially the tanky
stuff.
tank.
The tank that
All right, I'm
will
gonna
hit
end
a
the
lot and hopefully not die.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. And
It's
until
been a
next
pleasure.
time, so say we all.